everybody. Hello. Please share this video, this stream, because I cannot invite people to the live stream like I used to do. So please share. Share with everyone. Share with your parents. Share with your grandparents. Share with your brothers and sisters. Share with people you barely even know. Just share. Share the video, please. That's what I'd really like. Tonight, we have a full house. We have a whole lot of people. We got Mr. Books. We got not Super Deeks. We got Kevin from Buried on Mars. We got Uncle Meat. We got John from Too Loud, Too Old Music. And, of course, myself. And we are here to give you the top music movies of all time. With one caveat, which is no documentaries permitted. Music movies, but no documentaries. Got my list. I've got my Nespresso. And I got my Canada Dry. Yes. And we are going to have some serious fun tonight. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't take 3 hours, but I'm looking forward to seeing all the dudes tonight and seeing what we have lined up for music movies. This one comes courtesy of Uncle Meat, this list idea. He is a big movie fan, of course. He loves comedies, and he loves movies with music as a structural backbone. So I'm sure that he will have some interesting movies on his list. I know I have some that you've seen and some that you haven't. So hola, hey Harrison. Oh, Harrison's first. Harrison is first. So as usual, I am going live a little early tonight so that I can do an unboxing. And the cool thing about this unboxing is that it comes from a couple of weeks ago when we had our buddies, the band. I'm just going to change the graphic in the top corner there. Just keep your eye on that graphic. When we had our buddies from Storm Force on the show a few weeks ago, I'm sure you remember that. We were discussing the Japanese import version of their album, which featured a bonus track. And I think that is what is in here. And we are going to unbox it. We are going to open it now and take a look inside. Evening, Frankie. But Harrison, what's your issue with comedies, man? Like, really? You don't like to laugh when you watch a movie? I'm curious. This could just be Harrison being the contrarian. That's what it could be. It could just be Harrison being the contrarian. But I mean, I love a good comedy. We were just talking today about some of the classics like Dumb and Dumber, which is still to this day. Hey, everybody, we landed on the moon. Aha! Okay, so I have before me the Japanese import Storm Force CD, which even Storm Force themselves have not seen yet. They haven't seen one in hand yet. So they were, oh wow, it came nicely packaged from this Discog seller. It's double bagged. Or even more than that. It's triple. It's triple. It's also sealed. And you know, should I open the shrink wrap now? Should I open the shrink wrap now? Well, why don't we? I'll tell you what. Why don't we ask Mr. Books what he thinks? Oh, look who's here! It's Mr. Books.
What do I think about what?
Well, Mr. Books, do you remember a few weeks ago we had a band on called Storm Force?
I remember hearing about it, yes. I don't think I caught that one.
Okay, well, it was an excellent show, and if you're curious, it's
naturally.
Greg Fraser from the band Brighton Rock. It's his current new band.
I know of Brighton Rock, yes.
Okay, so what came up during the conversation, and of course what was initiated by myself in the conversation was, hey, have you guys ever seen your Japanese import album?
Oh.
Which I just opened just now. And I was just asking the viewers if they think that I should break the seal on it right now. And then you came here, and I thought I'd ask you.
Why wouldn't you? Unless you want to wait until you're ready to drop the proverbial needle.
Kind of want to wait.
Okay. I can share. If you want to fill time until the others get here, I can show you what came in the mail for me.
Let's do that. But first, I'm just going to read Harrison's comments.
Oh, yeah.
We were just discussing comedies, which Harrison's not a fan of. He doesn't like anything that's purposely designed to be funny. Funny bits in non-comedies are fine, and always the funnier than comedies. Plus, I don't derive enjoyment from people acting stupid and making fools of themselves. Everybody, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody you know what? Has their taste.
Maybe unless it's over the top, like somebody like Chris Farley, right, where he was so over the top and so physical and in your face and everything was so over exaggerated. Maybe that just in and of itself could be funny.
I find Jim Carrey very funny in a lot of cases, and physically funny. Yeah. I kind of grew up with the physical comedy of the Three Stooges, so I guess that's kind of ingrained in me. But I also like the more sophisticated stuff too. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Frankie wants me to play the Japanese import, which I cannot do.
Right.
They really are cracking down on copyrights. Yeah. And Rob wants me to break the seal. But maybe if I do break the seal, maybe I'll wait until he's on with us.
Yeah, but then once you break the seal, you're going to the bathroom every 10 minutes or so. It's just, I mean, you got to hold it as long as you can, man.
Yes, I've been on road trips before myself. So how are things at home in your hometown this week? Oh, I think we have a new arrival.
Oh, good. Hello, Kevin.
Oh, nice shirt. I'm wearing tonight. I'm wearing Cinematic Sound Radio.
Okay.
Which is our friend Eric Wood's show.
Nice.
I can hear you guys now.
Oh, good. Hi.
Hello.
I may have to apologize in advance for you being able to hear me.
Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. Fair warning.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, I got a protocol. I have a protocol question for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. A procedural thing, because I have never. I don't rank things. Right.
So are you ranking for the very first time tonight?
I tried.
Okay.
And so I didn't like it.
Okay. I like where this is going.
But I did it because of Uncle Meat and his need for that. So, but do I start at 11 and go to 1? Okay. Yeah. That was the only thing because I was just always like, yeah, here you go. Right. I don't know. And I don't, but I tried.
So just as a conversation starter, before the others join in, have you guys all heard the great news about Kitchener this week?
No.
We have one of those drive-through COVID testing centers, and people started lining up at 3 a.m. because it's been so busy, and they shut her down at 7:15 that same morning and had to get the police involved because people were getting agitated and threatening violence. 2020!
Okay, so I had never even heard of such a thing.
Yeah, we have a drive-in COVID testing center. You literally line up your car, they stick the thing through the window, and...
Do they bring you a Timmy's coffee too?
Sorry?
Do they bring you a double at the same time?
No, and some of these people are sitting there in their cars for hours, so I hope that they don't have to go and wee. Hi, Rosanna. Brazil. We have Brazil in the house. Hi, Rosanna.
Wow. Hola.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's been Kitchener's claim to fame in the national news this week.
I have an opinion about all of this, but we know what they're like. Everybody's got one. And I don't have great hopes for people.
But you know what, Aaron? We got us. We got each other.
Yep.
I've been doing this since the day lockdown began, and I'm not stopping now. And actually, we were just talking, Rob Daniels and myself were talking about potential ideas for Halloween. and it falls on a Saturday this year. And for anybody interested, I'm thinking of having a Halloween party stream in costume. Rob is definitely doing something like that for himself, so we might do like a me leading into him kind of deal. Not sure the details yet, but I'm throwing that idea out there.
I don't have a costume.
I personally am not a big Halloween guy, but there's a lot of people out there who are, and they're disappointed. So I'm happy to bring them a party.
So are you guys, like, I don't know, because this is all, people are talking about this and yada, yada. I don't know. I have 2 small kids and I still don't know. Are people doing Halloween?
As far as I know, most people are not going to be doing Halloween. If they do, it'll be something socially distant, like leaving a bowl of candy out on the porch.
My neighborhood, it would just disappear and we'd
there's bowl. That. Yeah.
I shouldn't cast aspersions, and I don't live in that bad a neighborhood. I'm just saying that like I don't have a porch cam to see who did it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will. So
I don't even like Halloween. I hate it.
What's the Scrooge for Halloween?
I don't hate it. I mean, I live in a condo though, so I haven't had trick-or-treaters in like 18 years.
Oh.
But my dad, if you want to meet somebody who hates Halloween, I'd like you to introduce you to my dad.
I'd love to meet your dad. He sounds awesome.
I hope everybody gets to meet my dad one day. But you know that my family, we're a miniature Schnauzer family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those things really don't like Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And they make enough noise that my dad he hates Halloween. He hates it. So he's glad for it not to be a thing.
I don't mind like the small neighborhood kids coming around, like, the toddlers and grade 2, grade. Yeah, just when it gets to that, and it's too, like we had one year when we were living in Barrie, the neighbors down the street were way into Halloween, and they would have a haunted house. And one day the local news decided to feature their haunted house on the local news, and everybody showed up. We counted up to 300 kids, and then we ran out of stuff, and we just shut the doors and closed the lights and hope for the best.
Here, have some
because it was just way too much. Now in the neighborhood I live now, at most we might get 5 kids at most. So
we don't.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we don't know how many we get because we're out with our kids, right? So,
right.
Oh, Rob,
our lights are off and our doors are locked and we're gone for some of it.
Rob, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Oh, now I can hear you.
When you lean forward, we can hear you.
You might have to lean forward.
Okay. Well, who is this that doesn't like Halloween?
That's me. Not a fan. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Rob. You really are coming in quiet next compared to the others.
All right. Just give me 1 second here. See if I can adjust things.
Okay.
Which mic are you using?
I'm using my pin mic with the that I've used since.
Tap on it.
Aaron and I are buddies.
That is the mic you're coming through.
Okay.
I had one of those and I booted it across the room. I by accident. I accidentally kicked it and broke it.
I have a pop guard for it, but I find it annoying and I don't use it. Except when I'm actually recording audio. But for live streaming, I don't think it doesn't matter.
I hit this thing all the time accidentally.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you somebody very special tonight. We have the original king of Westeros, Mr. Jon Snow, a.k.a. Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, yes.
Oh my goodness.
I may as well just start some introductions before meat arrives. But of course, you've already met Aaron, who's been on a couple of times now.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
And to Aaron's right is Kevin from Buried on Mars.
Yeah.
You know what? You should really change you should promote your site in your name there. But buriedonmars.wordpress.com.
That's right.
I'm not afraid to do it.
Working my way clockwise, we all know Rob from Visions and Sound by now, and I'd like to also introduce you to Gimli.
Oh, Gimli. That's a great name for it. Oh, yeah.
And John is representing Kiss because he is in the middle of reviewing all the Kiss albums in order. He's right now at Dynasty, and his website, Too Loud, Too Old Music, is probably. I look forward to so much of his stuff every week. He's got new release Fridays. He's got My Sunday Song, which is he just highlights a song every Sunday that he likes, and some have been really cool. He's done 38 Whitesnake reviews. 38 Whitesnake reviews. This man is a machine right here. Jon Snow, tooloudtooldmusic.com. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch. Wow. Hey, Mitch. Yeah, now I'm a little, I'm all like, oh my God. Yeah, maybe John, maybe take it away, bud.
Yeah, I'm doing all the Kiss albums. What did I just put out? Dynasty? Yeah.
Dynasty.
And I'm up through, I just did Killers today. Wrote it. And I'll do Creatures probably tomorrow or Sunday. So yeah, I've got like 58 different posts scheduled for the Kiss reviews.
Now here's my question for you. Creatures. Are you planning on doing one review for Creatures or two?
Don't know. Maybe. It's hard to say.
The reason I ask this, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Kiss history, is that the 1982 Creatures of the Night album was their last album in makeup. It didn't sell very well initially, and they re-released it in 1985 with a non-makeup cover because Kiss were not in makeup in 1985. So they put the wrong lineup, the wrong version of Kiss on the cover just because it was the current version of Kiss for a re-released / remixed version of Creatures. So that's why I think maybe he should split it into two.
But Creatures, the original, was not the right lineup either.
That's actually a good point because Ace really didn't play on any of it, no. But he's on the cover.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How come when they were Kiss when they had makeup on, right?
Yeah.
When they took the makeup off, why didn't they call themselves Sick?
That's a good question. They could have, but I guess name recognition, I guess. Ellen is just saying hello. Chris is not a big fan. And no, Mr. Ladano does not like Halloween at all. Well, look who's late.
Right on time.
No, I'm talking about the Meat Man.
Oh. Hey, I was going to show you what came in the mail.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's do that while we're waiting for meat.
This is all because of you, Rob.
Oh, me?
Yes, this is all your fault. I am a fan of the early Bare Naked Ladies, and we were talking about it, and I have 6 copies of the yellow tape here. I finally ordered the Coneheads.
What the hell is going on here?
So now I have Fight the Power.
That's awesome.
What's going on, man?
What I'm asking you.
What is
so like a Talking Heads video?
You're kind of like some sort of some sort of stop motion video thing. Oh, that's going to be messy. Yeah, see there. So I got the whole soundtrack.
Yeah, I do too. But this is the Fight the Power CD single.
Nice. Now I texted James, my KMA brother, because we both write for the site, although one of us more than the other historically. And I said, hey, I got this. This is awesome. Look what came in the mail today. And he said he wasn't even certain that was the yellow tape version.
Oh,
I don't think it is. But okay. I'm not 100%.
Because I looked at the liner notes in the soundtrack CD and it says 1993, but that's
there we go.
The year of the soundtrack. So
that could be a publishing date. I don't know, man. Yeah. Okay, well, listen. We got the Meat Man in the house. So once more, I'm just going to go around real quick. We have the one and only Mr. Books from, I didn't even say the website before, but it's keepsmealive.wordpress.com. And him and his buddy James, the partner in crime, been doing this for well over a decade.
2006.
There you go. We got Kevin from buriedonmars.wordpress.com.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't paid for a full my own .com yet.
Don't judge me by that. He's an awesome dude. And we've got Mr. Daniels, Rob, from Visions and Sound on the bottom right. And he will be going live tonight on his own show, but we'll get to that later. The new guy, Richard Dreyfuss from tooloudtooldmusic.com. And the Meat Man, the founder of the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 format. And
two very quick things. One, holy fucking Richard Dreyfuss. Like, I don't understand what's going on here.
It's called revenge therapy, Bob.
How's it going? Great movie, by the way. Hi, I have not formally met you. And I also wanted to give a thanks out to Aaron for trying to rank. I had told Mike that it was cool, that's your thing. I do appreciate you ranking because I think we're going to have a lot of same movies in here, but it's not something that you had to do. So just throw it out there.
Okay, well, you're welcome. I did struggle, but I did it for you.
Oh, John. Yeah. We have your nephew, Matt, watching.
Oh, he's watching. Awesome.
And I'm just going to ask everybody because Facebook doesn't allow you to do the share thing anymore or invite thing anymore. So everybody, please just share this to your timelines. Get some viewers interested in the show, and welcome.
I don't have one.
There we go with another copy of Max the Axe Status Electric. Yet another copy.
Oh, wow. Here we go again.
I think we could do this last week.
Got Deke in the house. He thought it was a Village People reunion tour press conference.
See, the one thing I don't get about this Max the Axe Love is all you guys have like 7 goddamn million CDs. What are you doing with the Max the Axe? Like I just don't get it.
I don't know what Mike is complaining. He's got. I don't know what his issue is. I've got no issues with the audio.
No.
Nobody else seems to have any audio issues.
Maybe he's talking about my Talking Heads video entrance.
I didn't want to be left out.
Oh boy!
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, what the hell? Here's my Status Electric. Eric, why don't you quickly tell us about tonight's theme and the one rule that you made?
Oh well, I mean it's music about movies. Basically, the only rule that I had was no documentaries. So, like. Anything that is not like fact-based actual documentary. Other than that, it's probably subjective. We're probably going to have some picks that are kind of subjective.
Yeah,
and we'll see. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's top 11 movies or
Nigel
that are about music.
Cool. So I'm going to start. But I'm going to actually start with 3 runners-up because, Eric, you earlier were saying that you could only think of like 30 movies. Man, I was coming up with so many. And so I'm going to put down 3. I got 3 runners-up that I'm going to start with before we even start the list. And
this is going to go forever, Mike, if we're all doing runners-up.
Interestingly, all 3 of them star that guy right there.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And hear me out on this one. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, that's not about music. No,
the whole thing
not.
is about a song. It's about a song. One song. The whole thing is about decoding that song.
Did you just get disqualified in your honorable mentions?
I even started. This is not a documentary. That is what you call a biopic. I'm going to start with number 11. I wanted. I'm taking a page out of Rob's book. I wanted to do an animated movie, so I chose Yellow Submarine.
Ah,
there you go.
Very nice.
How about you, Books?
I could be the walrus. I'd still have to bum rides off people. So this is, again, I tried ranking this, and I make no promises it'll ever happen again, but I tried for you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Here we go. Look at that, Rob.
Okay, so my number 11 was actually 2 because I had 12 and I couldn't leave either one behind. So it's a twofer. Okay. I'm going to give you Rocky Horror.
Okay.
And Grease.
Wow.
Together.
I mean, that makes me happy. That makes me happy.
Right? Because I grew up on Grease. My mother loved it and all that stuff. And Rocky Horror, I mean, if you're not throwing toast at it, there's a problem, right? So, but I had a serious list after that, but I couldn't leave one behind. So that's a twofer.
All right.
But everything else was 1.
Well, I really wanted to pick a movie with the DJ because I feel the radio DJ kind of gets left behind in the musical thinking. And I searched high and low, and there really isn't many movies about radio DJs. But one really good one that sort of has music plays a part in it is Good Morning Vietnam. Even though the movie is mostly about his comedy, bringing the Vietnam soldiers together, he did play a lot of rock and roll when the Army wanted him to play standards, old standards like Perry Como and stuff like that. So it plays a huge part in the movie. It's got an excellent soundtrack. And,
yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
also,
my number 11.
Nice. There's also Pirate Radio.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that movie. It's a little too long, and the story is a little too convoluted. I did rewatch it for this, though. Okay. I did try to give it a second shot, but I went with Good Morning Vietnam instead.
Good choice.
Incidentally, Good Morning Vietnam is the first CD I ever saw and heard. Excuse me.
Oh, wow. Fun fact.
Rob?
Okay. First of all, how am I sounding this time?
Very good.
Very good.
Well, I'm kind of going with Mike in starting with the animated, but I do want to do a quick one that didn't quite make the list because it's not an official soundtrack for it, and that's the film Rock and Rule.
Yeah, you reviewed it for me.
Yes, and it does not have an official soundtrack, but it's got Deborah Harry on it. It's got Lou Reed on it. It's got a whole bunch of guys on it. But I wanted to go with something animated to start, so I decided to go with American Pop. Yeah, a Ralph Bakshi film from 1981, and it has a lot of it has Pat Benatar on it, the Papas. It's basically an animated kind of music video kind of that Bakshi was experimenting with back then.
Rob, when the record's in front of you, it blocks your microphone.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I'll put the thing up here. So yeah, that's my choice.
Cool.
Is that the soundtrack or the movie on Laserdisc?
Oh, this is the soundtrack.
Oh, okay, cool.
Before we get to John, Max the Axe, Ford Fairlane is about the murder of a DJ. That's right.
He was the rock and roll detective.
Yeah, rock and roll detective. John T. Snow, let's hear your very, very, very first entry on the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 list.
All right. I went with an animated as well.
No way.
Yeah, one that my daughter and I enjoyed watching. Scooby-Doo and Kiss, Rock and Roll Mystery.
Very cool.
It's got Kiss songs, and there's all these little references to Kiss characters.
It has an exclusive Kiss song.
It does have an exclusive. And they don't sing on it, they just play on it.
No, don't touch my ascot.
Yeah, they don't sing. It's not them singing.
Come on, that has to be them.
No.
No.
From what I can tell, it's not them.
Okay, we're going to playing. I hope you're wrong, though.
It's them playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no, it's just one of those. It's got all these little references that like Kiss geeks would just lose their mind over, and they even have a Vinny reference and Eric Carr's makeup and all this great stuff there. So it was a lot of fun, and that's why I went with that one as my 11.
I think your nephew likes it. Yeah. And Chris Sarr sent me a message. He thinks that Kevin copped out on his pick. It's not a music movie, but I'm calling BS on that. I'm saying it is.
No, I think it's a music movie.
No, we are disqualifying Chris Sarr. And let's hear what you got.
Well, I do want to say that Kiss choice is an interesting one, and leave it to Kiss to sleaze rock up for the kids with "Don't Kiss My Ascot" or whatever the hell that was.
Don't touch my ascot.
Unbelievable, just very typical Kiss. My number 11. I hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I do love Grease, and that is my number 11.
There you
go. 1978. Exactly what he said. I grew up on it. It's probably the album that I heard the most around the house. Probably my mom's favorite movie. It might still be. And that's my number 11.
Nice. Very cool. I'll tell you, Meat. I remember when we bought our first VCR. Okay, and this was back when we still only had 3 channels, and you had to get up and turn the thing to do it. and the first tape my mother bought was Grease, so we watched the hell out of that because that was all we had for the longest time, right? Because they were expensive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Frankie Tom says the Scooby-Doo movie's quite good. Harrison, foreshadowing. And Ellen, who is married to a Kiss fan, she might have a good point there. Chris Sarr says that he's right and he is not disqualified. On with my number 10. I picked this movie more for the music than the actual movie because I find the movie really depressing. How many of you guys have seen Crazy Heart starring Jeff Bridges?
Yeah, long time ago.
I saw it. I was very looking forward to that movie, and I didn't connect with it.
I love the music, though. The theme song "Fallin' and Flyin'" is fantastic, and I honestly didn't know that was Colin Farrell playing the other country singer until I did a double take. So I'm going to put Crazy Heart as my number 10.
Very good.
Cool.
I honestly didn't even think of that one. That's cool.
Nope.
Cool. Is it me? Okay.
Yeah.
My next one, I'll just go real quick. And this was talked about another talk recently was "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Because Coen Brothers. I mean, T-Bone Burnett. Like it's awesome. So.
I don't know, Harrison. I don't know. You're just gonna have to wait and see. How about you, Kevin? What do you got?
So for my number 10, I went with a Woody Allen film, unfortunately. But, I mean, as much as that guy has screwed up in real life, he did make some excellent movies. And this one's from 1999. It's called Sweet and Low Down with Sean Penn. Have any of you guys seen it?
Yep. Heard of it. Sorry, heard of it.
Heard of it? Okay. Well, it's really good, even if you're not a Woody Allen fan. I'm not much of a Woody Allen fan, but I'm a music fan, and it's he plays a jazz musician from the 1930s, a guitarist, and he thinks he's the best. He's like the greatest in the world, except for Django Reinhardt, and he tells everybody that he meets like he's the best, except for Django Reinhardt, and he has this really high opinion of himself, this really huge ego, and he can't connect with other people, but he'll put on Django Reinhardt records all day long, and he'll just cry. He ends up meeting a mute woman who he falls in love with, because who else with a person with a huge ego that just loves to talk about himself? A mute woman is just perfect for him, and it's got some really good characters. Goes in all sorts of different places, and it's really well done. So I recommend it.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
John loves Man of Constant Sorrow for karaoke. Yeah, I'd like to get the fact checkers on this one because I don't believe this is correct. I don't believe "Oh Brother" is the biggest selling soundtrack in history. I think it's more likely Saturday Night Fever.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, so I'd like to get a fact checker on that one.
Yeah. Where's our stats guy?
Yeah, you know what?
We need Jeff.
Guys tonight, I would have asked him, but we are going to get Jeff Steven involved in a future stream when we don't have 6 guys, and he's going to keep stats and graphs.
Sounds good.
And graphs.
Oh,
yes.
Okay,
all right. Well, this will probably show up on other lists, I'm sure, but I can almost see nothing blacker than black. This is Spinal Tap.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
It's like
so it might be coming up on my list.
It might be on mine.
Somebody else's. Judging by Richard Dreyfuss' smile. Maxiac says that it went 6 times platinum, but I still think Saturday Night Fever must have sold more.
According to mentalfloss.com, The Bodyguard is the number one.
The Bodyguard makes sense.
Whitney Houston, right?
Oh Brother, Saturday Night Fever is number 2. Oh Brother is number 10.
Max the Axe.
We're number 10.
Yeah, and it actually went 8 times platinum according to Mental Floss, but it still is only number 10.
What a failure.
I'm going to hold it up while John does his number 10, just so Max doesn't feel bad. I'm just going to hold this. Go ahead, John.
All right, my number 10 from 1980 at the biopic about Loretta Lynn, Coal Miner's Daughter.
Great movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that LP.
Oh, dude.
That's a great movie.
The old original LP, yeah.
Yeah. I just remember watching that when I was a kid.
And then Chris Sarr comes in with this one as if he knew it all along. And Max, we still love you, bud. Okay, Meat Man, what you got?
Okay, coming in at number 10 for me from 1991, directed by Oliver Stone. I think everybody went through a Doors phase at some point.
Yeah.
And the Doors movie it might not be the greatest movie, but I loved it so much when it came out at the right time for me. I'd still watch it today and love it. That's my number 10.
Well, Val Kilmer is he plays the character so well.
It's a shining moment.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely.
You know, I honestly didn't give a crap about Val Kilmer until I saw him do a sketch with Tenacious D and kind of self-mockingly. And I was like, man, I love Val Kilmer all of a sudden. And I guess,
nice man
has to be the punching bag. So that's you, bud. So I'm on to number 9 with a comedy, just to piss off Harrison maybe. But I got to say, I love the Ruddles. All You Need Is Cash.
Yes.
It was something that I believe Scott Peddle might have got me into the Ruddles back in high school. I wish Scott was watching tonight. Maybe Ellen can ask Scott. But yeah, the Ruddles, All You Need Is Cash. It came from Saturday Night Live, mixed in a little bit of Monty Python. And the soundtrack is great by Neil Innes. The soundtrack is great. They spoof all these Beatles songs, but turn them into originals where you know what the Beatles inspiration is, but it's not the same song. You know what I mean?
It's very obviously the inspiration for Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
It's very much. It's the format is similar. The songs are kind of similar at times. Like it's borrowed. But Spinal Tap the idea is kind of borrowed from that movie.
Fair play. Okay, Bookman.
I have a confession.
Yeah.
I bought that DVD and I still haven't watched it.
It's pretty good.
You'll love it.
A long time ago. I hardly have time to watch anything.
Deke,
True enough.
I think, Deke, I think we can see the YouTube comments. I think.
Yeah, they come up.
Yeah.
Like you can see the logo in the comments. Where it originates from.
Well, I'm putting them on screen when I get them.
Oh, okay. So my number 9 is not pretentious. It's actually a brilliant movie, and of course the soundtrack is brilliant. It's Amadeus.
Yeah.
Great movie, yeah.
If I ever need a lift, man, I've got a Mozart thing here, and away you go. It's good for your brain.
Love F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that soundtrack is brilliant. Yeah. And, of course, it's about music. So.
Okay, Kevin, what's up?
For my number 9, I went with A Face in the Crowd. Anyone here see that?
No.
Okay, so this movie is directed by Eli Kazan, this is the follow-up to On the Waterfront. You might have heard that movie with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
So this was his next big movie, and the next big star that he had, he made Marlon Brando a star. The next person he was going to make a star was Andy Griffith. And let me tell you, he's fantastic in this movie. It's him and Patricia Neal, who some people might know from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Right.
And so Patricia Neal plays this person she has a radio show, and she goes around, she finds ordinary people to put on her radio show. And she goes to a local jail, and inside the jail is this Andy Griffith character who is just strumming along on the guitar, and he has this way with people. Well, first he was passed out drunk, and then they wake him up, then he strums on the guitar, and he has it this way with people. And people just start listening to him and that. So she's like, I'm going to put him on the radio. So she puts him on the radio, and they give him his own radio show. And then eventually they put him on television, and he just, the way he performs on television with his music and what he says, and that really connects with people. Then they start getting sponsors. And the first sponsor he has, he doesn't like the product. So he just tells everyone, don't buy this product. Pisses off the sponsors, almost gets him fired, but everybody connects with what he's saying. Everybody really enjoys sees him as a real person, sees him as themselves, right? Even though he's really crass and rough around the edges. And with great power comes great responsibility. As he gets bigger and bigger, stuff starts going to his head. And the movie is about not just music, but the power of television and what we say through the medium, and how it connects with people. And it's amazing because the movie came out in 1957, and it's pretty much what's happening today, with a reality TV star as the president of the United States. So it's fantastic with that. So I recommend it. It was a really good movie.
Cool.
So real quick, my mom liked Aaron's pick.
Oh, the Amadeus.
Yeah, and Gary says, "What's up, Snowman?"
Yeah, that's my oldest brother.
Awesome.
One of my older brothers. Actually, they're all.
And he looks like Ed Begley Jr., by the way. So, like,
it's entirely possible that John's family actually are all Hollywood stars that are just living incognito among us.
Absolutely.
And we also have 80s metal man Michael Lefebvre.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us now?
Okay, my number 9. I was tossing back and forth as to what I was actually going to choose, whether it was going to be one Beatles film or another, and I decided to go with the most unusual one probably out of this, closest to a James Bond film that I could get, and that's Help.
Yeah.
1965. I was originally going to go with A Hard Day's Night, but then I thought, no, this is the more unusual choice out of this one, so I went with Help.
Nice.
I like it. So
that's cool.
Big score. We've now seen the Beatles twice tonight.
Yes, we have.
Green. And the Snow family is having a bit of a reunion here.
Apparently so, yes.
Which is a perfect lead into you, John.
Yes. All right. My number 9. It's a 1998 movie that takes place in 1985. It's got Billy Idol in it, which is all I needed. It's The Wedding Singer.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I was debating that one with Jen last night.
Yeah, that's eligible.
I forgot that movie.
Oh, it's all music.
It's all about music. It's all about music.
Nobody messes with Billy Idol.
That's a great choice.
Good pick. That's a good one. Yeah.
Hey, look, some conclusion to the saga of the stolen book. I'm glad that Michael got compensated for the stolen book.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Drinks are on him.
Okay, my number 9 is a music and lyrics. I'm kidding. It's not music and lyrics.
Was that a movie?
Yeah, with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't know it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care.
My number 9 from the year 2000, directed by Stephen Frears, from a Nick Hornby book. It is High Fidelity. Coming in at number 9.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to make a list eventually.
Awesome movie.
That may appear again.
It's an awesome movie. Yeah, I could see that coming again, but I got it in first, so I don't know what that means, but it came in, and there's my number 9.
I'm really glad that I'm seeing movies like High Fidelity and some of these other ones that you guys have picked, because I feel like I've kind of avoided. I've tried to go sort of like Mike Niche movies a bit. So the Mike Niche movie that I picked for my number 8 is Detroit Rock City. I wanted to pick a Kiss movie, but I figured maybe that Phantom of the Park might show up on somebody else's list at some point. So I went with Detroit Rock City. I legit like Detroit Rock City. I think poor Eddie Furlong, it's probably the last decent movie he'll ever make. And I think it's a good comedy. I really do. I challenge people who's doubting me to watch Detroit Rock City and just completely put the Kiss aspect out of their minds and just enjoy it. You know, it's a funny movie.
Fair enough.
Over to you, Books.
Oh, yeah. My number 8, for what the numbering system is worth, is Whiplash.
No, that's a good
great movie.
Yes. With the drummer.
I didn't even think of that.
That's another one I was hoping would get picked.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Great movie. Loved that movie in the theater.
Your nephew Matt says the semaphore hand gestures of help are actually NUJV, and people thought they meant new unknown John vocalist. I guess that's conspiracy theory.
That's not a stretch.
I just had a flash of Monty Python doing Wuthering Heights in semaphore. Yes, thank you.
And Harrison loves Whiplash too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so have any of you, for my number 8, I picked Green Room. Have any of you seen Green Room?
You keep picking ones I've never heard of.
That was my intention.
First of all, that is a great movie. I don't know if it necessarily qualifies, but it certainly it's on the edge.
It's about a band who they're out on this, like they don't have any money. And they go out of their way to this gig that they hear about. And they get there and the gig has been canceled. So the guy feels bad for them. He says, I got a gig for you. It's out in the boonies though. And the place there is a little bit rough. So the band goes out there. They siphon some more gas to get out there, and when they arrive, they find out that the place is run by skinhead Nazis. And it's like a getaway for them where they just come and listen to music, and they're a punk band. So they go on stage, and they perform some punk song that I think Nazis don't like or something like that. It's supposed to be a song that you know, but it went over my head. But anyways, they perform it, and then the crowd's like, but then they win them back, because they keep playing or whatever. So then they go backstage to get paid, and in the green room they witness a murder. They get locked in there with the murderer and the person who was murdered, while the people running the place figure it out, and they go get the boss, and the boss is Patrick Stewart. And it is fantastic. It's an excellent movie. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. If you ever heard the movie Blue Ruin, it's done by the same guy. This guy came out, I can't remember his name, but he came out with the movie Blue Ruin, and he was getting like offers because it was so good to do like the big superhero movies and that. And he had to put them off because he wanted to make Green Room first. He was like, no, I got to do Green Room first, and then I'll take your big superhero movie offers.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
Excellent.
Right
okay,
on.
Rob, that makes it your turn.
All right, it makes it me turn. Well, this particular actor, we'll say, did quite a few movies in his career. So I had to choose. I had a lot to choose from. But I decided to go with one of his early films, the 1957 film, Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, I was hoping Elvis.
Nice.
Kudos.
Nice.
Kudos. I was hoping.
No, this particular soundtrack has one of the more unusual versions of Jailhouse Rock that I've ever heard. People actually screaming in the middle of it. It's rather kind of unreal and surreal.
Like not live, but just overdub screams.
Have a listen to it. It's bizarre. I'll send it to you.
It's like the NHL.
Yeah.
So that's my number.
That's cool. Okay,
All
John.
right. My turn. My number 8 is Forrest Gump.
Excellent.
The way they use the music to take you through history, and that soundtrack's just incredible. So.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yes, that one was in my soundtrack talk with Rob and Mike that other time.
Right.
Yeah. Or I sent you the list. Yeah, I sent you the list.
Yeah.
I wasn't in that one. I sent the list. That's
right. Yeah. And hey, John, my mom's on your side.
Oh,
yeah.
I bought my mom and dad that CD for an occasion. I can't remember which one, but I bought them that CD for an occasion.
Cool. I have a Mike story for that. I bought the Japanese of Forrest Gump.
Wow.
And you know what's different about it? The liner notes are in Japanese. The songs are the same.
Well, that I guess I might have to open this up after the show tonight then.
I couldn't read a word of it.
Man loves Forrest. Both still named soundtrack.
Or it's called Forrest Rump.
Forrest Rump. Yeah. Hey, check this out. I didn't know I could do this. Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Hey, neat. It's your turn.
What the hell is that? That was weird.
It's your turn.
No one wants that. Don't do that.
I wish I knew that last week. I just would have put the spotlight on Deke constantly when he was,
I mean, it's not Halloween yet. Don't do that. My number 8 is a movie that I am pretty sure, at least that I know of, that Mike Ladano has not seen yet. And it's because he's a stubborn SOB. But my number 8, directed by Bryan Singer, 2018's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Meat. We own it.
But you still haven't watched it. Yeah. So, whatever. I think you're missing out. I think it's really well done. It was great in the theater, and that's my number 8.
Cool. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to go make an espresso. My coffee's empty. So, Books, you go ahead. I'll be right back, and then you'll have to tell me what I missed. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I need an espresso.
Okay, now he's gone. We can talk about him. Wait. Oh, who can stand? No. Okay, so my number 7 is, and apologies to whoever it was that doesn't like comedies in the comments, is Walk Hard.
Great movie.
The story.
It was on my short list.
Yeah,
it was on my short list. Yeah.
Johnny Cash spoof kind of thing, and
Yeah.
And
awesome.
I loved it, and it's fun, and the music is cool. So yeah,
it's a good one.
It's great. It's great. I love what is it? The guy from SNL.
It's brewing. What did Aaron pick?
The guy from Tim Meadows in that movie is just awesome. If you remember,
which one was he?
He was. He's I believe his black manager.
Okay.
I think he's his manager in that movie. That's a great movie. It's awesome.
I'm sorry, which movie?
Walk Hard.
It's the Dewey Cox story.
Yes.
Yeah. Holland mentioned that one earlier. He was hoping that one would make somebody's list.
Yep.
There it is.
Okay, I'm just going to pretend that I'm still in charge of this thing. Okay, over to you, Kevin.
Well, we skipped you, Mike. Okay.
Michael.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Threaten us.
I wanted a movie that was about a collector besides High Fidelity. So I went with Ghost World. You guys seen that?
Yes.
So, yeah, that's. I mean, it's about Steve Buscemi, who's like this recluse, and he collects music. He's into old blues and that, and he hooks up with this young girl who's.
Steve Buscemi?
Yes.
Yeah.
The movie Ghost World. So he hooks up with this young girl who's like kind of trying to find herself in that. So it's a little bit of coming of age, but there's some great music moments in that, just about music collecting. There's a great scene where they have all the music collectors at his apartment, and they're buying and selling records, and they're talking about like what's the original and what isn't and all that. And then there's another great scene where they're at a bar, and the guy opening for the main act is like the
Blues
guy
Hammer.
Yeah, well, the guy that's opening is the guy that Steve Buscemi sings, and he's like an acoustic blues guy, and then Blues Hammer comes out, and they're just like more like rock and roll, not blues at all. But anyways, it's a really good movie. A lot of good music moments.
Was it? Yeah, that's a great. Wasn't that a comic book first?
Yes, by Daniel Klaus.
I've had that. I've had the comic book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got to get caught up here. I don't know what Chris is talking about. My mom is still here. Yes. I guess it really sucks when I come into comments and I don't know what I'm missing. Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, my mom does keep telling me to watch it, but she also told me to watch the Tom Cruise musical, Rock of Ages. So I don't trust my mom with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer, very talented filmmaker. Just grab a beer. It's faster. And as for Harrison here, I guess we'll just have to see.
That one was almost on mine.
Almost on mine, too.
Hey, Mike, we need your number 7.
Yep, you got it. It's Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, the best of the 3 Bill and Ted movies.
Wow.
And it qualifies because they have to form a band and save the universe. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, featuring
George
Jim
Carlin.
Martin from Faith No More.
Whoa.
Okay, books. Sorry, I guess Rob. Yes.
Rob.
Okay. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this one. You might not be. This was not really an obscure film from '86, but it hit my radar, and I just love it. There's a theme near the end, and I'm sure Mike will know what I'm referring to as the head-cutting duel. And from the head-cutting duel.
Crossroads.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And it to me might not be. This was not really an obscure film from '86. I'm hearing myself it hit my radar, and I just love it.
I'm hearing a loop
at the end, and I'm sure Mike.
Sorry, that was me. That was me. I apologize.
That's okay. No, this is a great soundtrack produced by Ry Cooder.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely fantastic. The only unfortunate thing is that head-cutting duel, which I believe features Steve Vai on guitar and someone else, and Ry Cooder, does not feature on the soundtrack.
It has not been released on CD to date. It
is an awesome guitar duel, and that absolutely makes the movie for me. But this is a really good story with Ralph Macchio playing this kid who basically gets caught up in the whole Robert Johnson story.
Yeah,
and, a really cool movie, really good soundtrack. Ry Cooder does an excellent job.
Yeah. Now, Rob, I will say that Steve Vai guitar solo, the opening riff, there's a kind of a chunky opening riff. That later on became his song Bad Horsey on the Alien Love Secrets EP.
Okay.
So that portion of it became a song. Over to you, John.
All right, my number 7. It's another Tom Hanks movie.
Nice.
It's That Thing You Do.
Oh, great.
Yeah. He discovers a little band in a small town called the Wonders.
Yeah.
Oneders. And takes them, they get famous, and then they crash. So typical kind of story. But just great music. I can't remember if it was the 50s or the 60s.
60s, early 60s, I believe.
Early 60s, yeah.
I think.
That style of music and stuff. It was just an entertaining flick, good music, and anything about a band's always good.
Cool.
Okay, so for Harrison, we'll see if that's foreshadowing as well. And this has not come up yet. Okay, no. Eric, it's all you.
Okay, for number 7. This is the third of my 4 biopics that are on my list. This one is from 2014, directed by Bill Pohlad. It is Love and Mercy.
Love and Mercy.
It is a biopic of Brian Wilson.
Oh.
With Paul Dano and John Cusack.
I didn't know about that one.
Wow, this awesome movie. It was nominated for an Oscar or 2. Great movie. One of my favorite movies.
Cool. So that makes us at number 7 now?
Yeah.
And we'll just skip through this one really quickly because I picked Oh Brother, Where Art Thou as well. We've talked about number 6 plenty on this show. So over to you, Books.
Okay, well,
I had number 6, right?
Yeah, number 6.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'll trust
we're
you
at number
guys.
6.
I'm the one who took off to go get an espresso, so I'll trust you guys.
Yeah, no, I think we're all caught up now. I think so.
Yeah, we're at number 6.
Cool. That's my 6.
And we got to talk about you while you were gone, so it was all fine.
Yeah, but I got a private message from Chris Sarr saying that my mom was keeping tabs on you.
Oh darn. Busted. No, so I had High Fidelity at number 6. But one that didn't make my list that should have, and if you want to do it interchangeably, would be The Commitments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hoping we still see them later on today because let's face it, almost everything except for Kevin's picks have been on my list at one point or another.
Now, I'll tell you, I saw High Fidelity in Montreal in the theater, and I don't go to the movie theater. Aaron gets very cranky in movie theaters.
Yeah, so does my dad.
Because I don't like other people.
Yeah, so does my dad.
And I don't want the farting and the scratching and the rustling of packages and the cell phones and the what did I miss and the I'd rather watch it at home. But High Fidelity was one of the ones where I was just so riveted on the film that I didn't even notice that I was in a theater.
I'll tell you my experience, and Eric will appreciate this because I saw High Fidelity with Tom Morwood, the Sausage Fest co-founder, and I went to see it with Tom, his girlfriend at the time, and I can't remember who else, but it was a bunch of us from the record store. Mm-hmm. And the one scene where he is opening up his store for the first time and he's talking about how they don't get a lot of traffic, and he says, my clientele are the kind that are looking for original, not re-released, underlined Frank Zappa albums. Our entire row's like, and nobody else in the theater's laughing.
That's funny.
You knew you were in.
Yeah.
This film is for you.
Okay, over to Kevin now.
So my number 6, I am a huge Billy Wilder fan, and I went with Some Like It Hot. Have you guys seen that?
Wow.
Marilyn Monroe.
I've seen it.
Long time ago.
So yeah, it's a couple of guys who are musicians who are trying to find a gig. They can't find one. They hear about these ladies who, or a couple of spots that are open for ladies. And they kind of toy with the idea of dressing up as ladies and taking the gig. And they're like, oh, we can't pull that off. And then here's another couple of musicians who witness a murder by the mafia. And the mafia is now after them. So they decide the best place to hide would be with these ladies. So they dress up as ladies and they meet Marilyn Monroe. They both fall in love with her. And, it's just a great movie. It's Billy Wilder was really a smart guy when it comes to comedy. He'd come up with like these crazy ideas and that. And the best thing he did was he made the movie in black and white because it really pulls off Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon dressed as ladies. If he did it in color, it probably wouldn't have worked as well. But it's just a great movie. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, get it. Great choice.
Okay, Rob.
Okay. I'm not sure if this has been on the list already, But I know T-Bone Burnett's name has been mentioned.
Brother.
No.
No.
Mighty Wind.
Nice. Okay. Sorry. I meant that he'd been mentioned before with Oh Brother.
Yes.
But yeah, freaking great one, Rob.
Awesome.
This one for me. I love this movie from the moment it started.
Yeah.
Fred Willard is absolutely hilarious in that film. What happened?
I can't do my work. I don't think so.
I can't do my work.
My KMA brother James will highly approve of your pick.
The thing about this is that the songs on this are top notch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's stuff on here that does not make it into the film, but is really good. Like there's actually a
Skeletons of Quinto, the full song.
Yes, a version of "Start Me Up."
Yeah. It's so interesting.
Yeah, by the Folksmen.
Yeah.
And some really good stuff on here. So this is my number 6.
Have you heard that one, Aaron? Have you heard their version of "Start Me Up"?
If it wasn't in the film, then no, I've never heard the CD.
I might have to send you an audio track later on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's great.
It's kind of the kind of song you got to hear.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great. Love it.
All right.
Sorry, John.
My number 6 is the same as Aaron's, High Fidelity.
Nice.
Yeah. And now every time I go to a record store, I think they're making fun of me. So.
Yes, they probably are.
Yeah, they are. They're
Me
all,
too.
we got
Me
one
too.
local store that I won't name, but they are that movie.
Hey, John.
They are so highbrow, snobby.
Are
It's
you
awful.
the guy that asked for "I Just Called to Say I Love You"? Nobody likes that song.
Oh, I swear though, we came out of that movie and I said, I know somebody who is every single character in that film.
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah.
At least
Except for
one
Jack
person.
Black, who's more like a caricature of people.
Oh, that's just what he
rather than-
does. Yeah.
But I've had elements of the Jack Black character, the elements of the bald guy character, and the elements of the Cusack character all during my record store career. I was definitely the sad, broken-hearted shithead that Cusack was. But I've also been the manic Jack Black guy from time to time too. So yeah, I identify with that pick, and I'm really glad you both picked it.
Oh, that was three
picks.
Three
picks.
Yeah.
All right, Meat, you're next.
Well, my number 6 is directed by Damien Chazelle, 2014, and the third time I've matched with Aaron now on Whiplash.
Yes.
Nice.
That's a great movie.
I saw that movie in the theater by myself. I swear I wasn't really, really high. And the last 10 minutes of that movie is just a performance.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's maybe 7 minutes, and it just blew my mind. The movie ended, I was just sitting there stunned. Like, so good. Love that movie.
Yep.
Keep talking just for a minute longer.
J.K. Simmons is bald, and he's he's mean.
He's very mean.
Very mean.
I'm just looking for an image. I just need you to just keep talking for a second here. You know what? Forget it. They did a spoof of Whiplash on American Dad with Roger as the J.K. Simmons character, except instead of drums, it was Clown College. And I just wanted to get a picture of Roger dressed just as J.K. Simmons because it was so freaking funny.
That's funny.
Now, my number 5 is I'm going to give you a caveat here. It's not known as a historically accurate biopic, but it's a good one. And the music was performed by the actors, which doesn't always work out, but in this case it did. The Buddy Holly story with Gary Busey. Wouldn't have ever checked that movie out if it wasn't for my mom, who praised Gary Busey and the entire cast, really.
Good pick, yeah.
So yeah, Buddy Holly story is my number 5.
I thought you were going to go with The Dirt there for a second.
Oh, I still haven't seen it, John. I still haven't seen it.
Oh.
Gary Busey was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar.
Yes.
And deservedly so.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, proud. Who are you?
Well, for my number 5, I'm on a mission from God.
Nice.
Yes.
Blues Brothers.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Right? And that it is at number 5 should tell you that the rest of this list is going to be very interesting.
Well, Jen wanted me to mention that movie at some point tonight because she didn't want to make a list, but she said that's her number 1 movie of all time, and she definitely wanted it mentioned.
Wow. Well, it has Aretha in it. How could it suck?
Way to go, man.
It has everybody in it.
I know, right?
And my mom certainly agrees that Gary Busey did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kevin, what are you going to surprise us with that I've never seen?
Okay, well, I think this is the last obscure movie on my list. It's called Baby the Rain Must Fall from 1965. No one's heard of it? Okay. So this movie stars Steve McQueen and Lee Rebnick. And Steve McQueen, it's really about a small town and just how like a small town, and I grew up in a small town, so I really relate to Steve McQueen. He wants to be a star. Like he wants to be a rock musician, and he can play really well. He's really good at guitar. He's doing all the clubs, not local clubs and that, and he's getting like some traction in that. But he was his parents left him, and he was adopted by this old bag that was really mean to him, and he rebels against her. She doesn't like it. She tells the sheriff, throw this guy in jail. So he actually goes to prison for a couple of years. Comes back. He still wants to be this rock star. Finds out that he knocked up his girlfriend, who comes back and finds him. So he's got this little family and everything, but she still wants him to be a rock star. And again, he's going through the clubs. He's getting like all the traction and everything like that. And he's older now, like he's not an 18-year-old kid. He's in his 20s and that. But the town just won't let him out of how they view him. That's how they view him. They view him as like this criminal, and they just won't let him break loose from that. So the 60s was a really cool time for these kind of movies because the ratings boards were getting more lax, and they were really toying with like anti-heroes and that. But this was a good one. It was really about it was rock and roll and that, like that early 60s rock and roll. And yeah, you should check it out. It's really good.
Cool. Never heard of it. Awesome. I like the sound of that.
It's got a good soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Before we go to you, Rob, I found the image of Roger as J.K. Simmons, the clown teacher. So give me a second. Share. And there we go. You see Roger as J.K. Simmons. You see the pecs? You see the pecs on there?
That was something else about that movie. That guy had worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was mean looking.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, it's you.
All right. Sticking kind of maybe with obscure movies in this case, I decided to go with something Canadian, but also obscure. Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
I know this one.
I believe we watched that in grade 9 art class.
By Thor and the, what is it?
No, we didn't. Okay.
The Tryons. This are whatever.
You hear that, Thor?
And yeah, this is.
Oh, was that guy? Okay.
Thor, yeah.
This is hilariously bad film.
I have seen it once.
Somehow it got a soundtrack release on a major label. So I'm listening to this. It's got some absolutely wonderful hair, almost metal from Thor. It's absolutely. First of all, the film will boggle your mind. Second of all, the soundtrack will rock you very, very hard, and it's got some really good stuff on here. But yeah, this to me is a solid number 5.
So anybody watching from the United States might not know who John Michael Thor is, but he is a Canadian metal legend, and he might be best known for what do you think? Keep the Dogs Away, or maybe Knock Them Down.
No, I Keep the Dogs Away for sure.
Dogs Away.
Yeah.
And Max agrees with us. Got to keep the dogs away. Got to keep the dogs away. Okay, Snowman.
All right, number 5. It's another country music biopic. It's Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash story.
Excellent. We've had Dewey Cox and Walk the Line.
Yes. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was, when is he not good? So.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I to Joaquin Phoenix, I will say
yes. Gladiator.
Yeah, okay, good. Somebody got it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
Awesome.
Hey, Meat Man, what do you think?
Number 5 is my last biopic of the night. It is from 2007. directed by Anton Corbijn.
Yes.
It is Control.
Oh.
It is the biopic of Ian Curtis from Joy Division.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of this.
Great movie. I loved it so much. I rented that movie from a video store that I was very cool in Waterloo called Generation X.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally lived a 90-second walk from it. So I rented that movie, went in there, I watched it, took it back, and then got a Joy Division documentary. And I've been a pretty big Joy Division fan ever since.
Very cool.
The movie is a little tough for me to watch now. I've tried to watch it in the last couple of years. There are way too many parallels to my good friend Paul McLeod in that movie for me to really enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's such a great movie, and that's my number 5. Yeah.
I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, Paul.
My number 4.
Right. Indeed.
We're going to blast through because Rob picked Mighty Wind already. So I second his Mighty Wind. This came up a couple of times during our movie, like top movies. I guess what I will say about the Mighty Wind soundtrack, though, is I believe there's a bonus track on there that's only accessible by a CD-ROM. So that's all I have to add.
CD-ROM. Wow.
Yeah, remember those? Remember when that was a
CD-ROM? 1 second. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Well, is it 1 or 30?
It's somewhere in between.
I'm still confused.
He's going to get an espresso too.
Okay, so I'll do my next one, and it's really easy, and that is Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap. When I was thinking about this movie, the scene that stuck in my head, and it's a weird thing to get stuck in my head, but them standing at Elvis's grave trying to harmonize.
Yes.
It's a Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh my God. Just brilliant. Absolutely. That's what came to my mind immediately was that scene.
Too much fucking perspective.
Anyway.
Place to dwell.
Yes.
Did somebody just pick Spinal Tap?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I think that's the 5th match we've had.
Now, my mother would like to cross-promote Mighty Wind with Schitt's Creek, which, of course, they both feature Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. So Schitt's Creek is getting a lot of attention these days, so we will happily endorse Schitt's Creek. And
Legends!
There was never a sequel to Spinal Tap, but they did do a reunion TV special called, I believe it's called An Evening with Spinal Tap. That was a television broadcast. And, of course, in a sense, the Folksmen are Spinal Tap. So maybe even you could call a Mighty Wind a sequel because the Folksmen opened for Spinal Tap back in the old days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, next.
Sorry, I have a question about Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
James recommended it, and we watched the first episode, and it was so shrill, we couldn't watch it. Does it get better?
Okay, my mom will answer that question for us.
Okay, because like the first episode of the first season, we just like no, because just they're no, it wasn't. So if it gets better, maybe we'll stick it out. But let me know.
Okay. It takes a while. They're interesting characters. It takes a while to warm up to them, I think, anyways.
Okay.
But Sarah and I love the show, and we've been watching it since day one and singing its praises since day one. And it's filmed in our area. So when you come and visit me, if you want a Schitt's Creek tour, I'll take you around and I'll show you where the animal shelter, not the animal shelter, the veterinarian hospital is. We got everything here except for the hotel. The hotel is in Orangeville, but everything else is here.
Oh, there. Okay. Yes, it gets better. It's hilarious.
And Aaron, when we do this mystical get together post COVID, Aaron will take us through Listowel and show us where Letterkenny was all inspired by. There's the hockey arena. Letterkenny. Do we need to get this fact checked on Max again? But 6 and
No, I would believe that. They've been cleaning up on that stuff.
They cleaned house.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is we have so little time to actually watch something for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Because by the time the kids are in bed, we're like, well, good night, and then we go to bed too. So
it's only a 22-minute show, really. Like if you're not watching it without if you're watching it without commercials.
It's kind of hard to go wrong. It's Eugene Levy, it's Catherine O'Hara. Like there's going to be something that in there that will edify you in some way.
Okay. Yeah, like they're at the beginning, they're like the people that nobody likes, right? And they don't like anybody. And it's about them like finding common interests with people that they don't have interest with at the start. So it might take a while to warm up to them.
Okay. So sure. Yeah. Sorry for hijacking. I just
no worries.
No.
Not
a problem.
It's easy because my number 4 is High Fidelity. So
wow. There we go.
I'll just say I don't know about you guys, but before I had watched that movie the first time, I did not know who Jack Black was.
No, neither did I.
I had no clue who he was. I didn't watch Mr. Show or anything like that. And so when the first time you watch that movie and you don't have no idea who he is, like he's going on about how he has this band and how he can sing and all that, and you just think, how could this dweeb that's just mean to everybody can actually sing? And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but when you get to the end and he belts out that tune just beautifully, and you're like, wow, that guy really can sing. And that put me on the Jack Black train. Now I went back and found Tenacious D and everything, and so
yeah. Kevin, same experience. It was the first time I saw Jack Black, and when he comes in playing "Walking on the Sunshine," doing that spinny dance, Spinal Tap, I was hooked. Kevin, yeah. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Then I realized I saw him before in The Cable Guy. I'm like, oh, he's that garden gnome looking guy that had the Soundgarden tickets in The Cable Guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Comments here. We got. My mom watched it on Netflix.
Oh, that would be okay.
Did we lose John?
I think he's frozen. Yeah.
Okay, we got him back.
Oh, good.
And wow, Schitt's Creek won a ton of records. A ton of prizes here, breaking the Emmy record for most wins in a single season for a comedy. Glowing send-off for the Canadian series, which broadcast its 6th and final season this year. Wow, I think he cut and paste that from like.
Yeah, I think so. But it cleaned all the actor awards, right? Best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, best supporting actrtress, which no show has ever done before.
Swept everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, you guys moved.
Rob Daniels?
I've lost track of where we actually are right now.
Yeah, Rob's next.
Yeah, we're Rob.
Okay, and we're going to continue going clockwise, even though you guys have changed spots.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, that's cool.
Mine's been mentioned before. The Ruddles.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
You've got like Goose Step Mama, Biggie in the Middle. Cheese and Onions actually is one of my favorites as well. Just some really great stuff. The only thing that's on here is like, you need feet to stand. The only one that's not on there, and I always laugh whenever I hear that one. But yeah, I love the Ruddles. Definitely number 4.
What was that from, Rob? 1,000 Feet of Film, I believe it was called.
That yes.
Now, does that have my favorite song, "Ouch"?
It does.
Ouch! You broke my heart. Ouch! Now I'm falling apart. Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
That's E.T.'s favorite song.
Hopefully by my really poor rendition, though, you got the idea of what I meant earlier when I was talking about how they copied Beatles songs but made them their own songs. Mm-hmm. You obviously know which song "Ouch" is.
Obviously.
Okay, Eric, it's you.
Hey, Jude.
I wonder if anyone can hear this. 1 second.
Well, you can't play music or we'll get cut off. I hear tones.
I hear faint piano.
Yeah. Anyway, my number 4 is the only a director on my list that has 2 movies on my list. And it is from 2016, and the movie is La La Land.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Todd Phillips?
Unbelievable movie. Basically, some would call it a love story, and it really, I mean, it's got elements of that, but really what that movie is all about is about musical integrity. Basically, Ryan Gosling is a jazz guy, and he's extremely talented, and he keeps having to play crap music, in his opinion. And it was just kind of his struggle with that. I believe that was the one that in the year of the Oscars when they read the wrong movie. It won, and then it was taken away because it was Moonlight. La La Land was the only movie that I rewatched for the purpose of this, and it moved up to number 4. If you love jazz, then you will love this movie. It's that simple. Because at some point, either you have this love affair with jazz and it stays with you forever, or you don't. And like when I watch this movie, I think of. Has anyone ever had the Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald album?
Oh yes, both of them.
What an okay! That movie just makes you feel good. And when I watch La La Land, it makes me feel like I'm listening to that album. If Aaron, if you have never seen that movie, that is a must watch for you.
I didn't watch it because I'm not much of a musicals sort of dancing around.
I'm less than you probably. I'm just guessing. But
I'm pretty adamant about that.
Yeah, I'm guessing the guy in the Rush shirt isn't a musicals kind of guy.
Yeah,
definitely watch La La Land. It is about loving jazz. That's what it is.
Well, that's pretty easy. I can tell you how that ends.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going.
Exactly.
Okay, John, what movie are you going to get us to watch?
I think you've all seen it. It's Wayne's World.
Party on. Excellent.
I mean, getting an education on Milwaukee from Alice Cooper is all you need.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Yes.
Car.
And awesome. Soundtrack. Awesome. It's it's a good fun movie.
Yeah.
Didn't Tia
Carrere?
Didn't she sing a song on there?
Tia Carrere.
She did
Ballroom Blitz.
Ballroom Blitz, yeah.
He had an original song called
he's got it right there.
My Heart.
Yeah.
There you go.
I believe in the inside of the CD it might say like look for Tia Carrere's album coming soon or something like that. Maybe Rob
actually have one?
Look at Meat's gone. We're going to go on to my number 3, which we've all heard about already, which is This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about This Is Spinal Tap is, although it's extremely expensive, it's worth tracking down the Criterion Edition DVD. It has a lot of different bonus features from the regular edition DVD, and there are enough deleted in there to make an entire sequel to This Is Spinal Tap, basically.
Wow. The menus, too. They went all out in the menus, and if you get the Blu-ray, there's nothing there. It's just like a straight page movie. That's it. I still have my DVD just for the menus.
I have 2 copies. I've got the Criterion and the other, and it looks like John's got some fans here. Okay, number 3 with books.
Right. Okay, so this one comes with a disclaimer. If you have not seen this movie, do not watch it alone. If you have seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is hard to watch. And it is Dancer in the Dark.
I've not seen it. I've heard about it.
With Bjork.
Oh, okay.
And oh my God, if you want harrowing and hard to watch, but the music and of course it's Bjork, right? So it's everything. That's what she says. One of the things is everything is music, but it is a tough movie. Don't watch it alone.
Okay.
It's really, really good though. It's one of those ones that when you watch it, you'll go, "Oh my God," and it'll stick in your head forever. You'll never forget it. It's really good.
Okay, Kevin.
Well, I didn't write any notes for this movie because I thought for sure somebody would have picked it before I got to it. And maybe I'm way off. Maybe nobody likes this movie, but I love Almost Famous. And so that's my number 3.
Right on the edge of mine. Right on the edge.
I had no idea what's his name? Yeah, Cameron Crowe. I don't think I ever seen any of his movies before or anything like that. And I watched I've only seen the extended version on DVD, and it's like a 2.5 hour movie, but it flies right by.
Jason Lee.
Yes, well, I was a huge Jason Lee fan too because of Kevin Smith's connection and all that. And awesome soundtrack and original music for it too. And I have the soundtrack, and I put that on once in a while. And it's good times.
Yeah, the DVD comes with the Stillwater CD.
Yes, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I used to own that. I lost it in the DVD purge. Okay, Rob, what do you have now?
Again, I think we've talked about this one for sure. But this one really got me into kind of a bluesy kind of Motown kind of feeling.
Nice.
And I really liked The Commitments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Yes.
A great Alan Parker film. Rest in peace. And just a great film. The lead singer, whose name I cannot recall at this moment. I'm sure somebody will come up with it.
The long hair ponytail guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. And the only problem with it is if you go to see them live, or when they were doing a bit of a tour, all of the guys weren't there, and so a little bit of a letdown. But other than that, the movie is brilliant. There are 2 volumes. I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite line from that movie is, "It takes talent and skill, so we're fucked for starters."
and that's what you want to name your band.
Oh yeah.
Put an apostrophe beside the second and you look bitching on the poster. It's a great movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm really glad people are picking a lot of these movies that aren't on my list. Like, it makes me happy because I didn't want to exclude them. So, over to you, Meat Man.
Well, my number 3. My top 3 movies on my list are probably in my top 10 movies of all time. Not surprising considering that I'm a music guy. But number 3, as has been already said, 2003, A Mighty Wind. Love that movie so much. One of my favorite memories with the aforementioned Mr. McLeod was being up at a cottage, and we watched that movie back to back, like once, and just started it over again on a little laptop, just sitting around it. So that's commitment there. And the movie's great. The soundtrack is great. Love it. It's number 3.
Rest in peace, Fred Willard.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Snowman.
All right, my number 3 is Spinal Tap.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know what else to add to that one. I remember when I first watched it, I didn't really get it because I was young.
Yeah.
But as I got older and a little more knowledgeable about music, it's incredible.
I first saw it in my grade 13 year. Yes, we had that for a while. Yep. And it came highly recommended from a guy named Andy Kandick, who I don't know if you know Andy Kandick. I believe he was in your grade. But I didn't get it. Didn't think it was. Some things I thought were funny, like the guy not being able to get out of the pod during Rock and Roll Creation. I got that. I thought Stonehenge was hilarious, but I thought this is really it's angry. It took me 2 watches to get it. So I'm with you, John. Now my number 2 is a movie that I picked because I love it, and I also picked it as a tribute to my buddy the Meat Man. You know this one, but you're the only one here who's going to know this one. Eugene Levy, John Candy, The Last Polka.
Wow, that's deep.
That is deep. The Last Polka was a spoof of the band The Last Waltz, starring John Candy and Eugene Levy as their SCTV characters, the Schmengi Brothers.
Oh my God, I did not know that existed.
I'm Josh Schmengi and I'm Stan Schmengi. We are the Schmengi Brothers. And our favorite scene growing up in this movie, and Rob, I hope you've seen it, they're trying desperately to sell tickets. So they decide they're going to do the music of John Williams. And it shows John Candy wearing this shark costume, very similar to Rob's, playing his clarinet, going like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And that's the Jaws theme, polka version. And they did a concert where they did a tribute to Michael Jackson, but they put Michael Jackson in the biggest letters and then by the Schmengi Brothers in tiny, tiny, tiny print. It's such a funny movie. I believe it was made for TV only.
Yeah, I think it was an HBO, a very early an HBO movie.
It has been many, many years since I've seen it. I don't know where you'd find it today, like to buy it, but The Last Polka, the Schmengi Brothers.
Wow.
Nice. Awesome.
That's a deep cut, man.
Thank you.
Very deep.
I remember that act, but I did not know that existed. So we were talking, my number 2 pick is going to be partially representative of my love of jazz music. but also one of the best. Like this one was an inspiring, it's an uplifting, it's also slightly horrifying film. Swing Kids.
Hey, yeah, okay.
And the soundtrack for Swing Kids is amazing. There's a version of by Mir Bis Duchesne on there that is awesome. I could put that on any mix and be happy. But the movie itself was really, really good. And as they said, swing hail.
Swing hail.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin, what
my number two
obscure piece of celluloid do you have for us this time?
Okay, well, this movie shouldn't be obscure, but it might be. Have you guys seen the movie Sing Street?
I've heard of it. I don't know.
Well, forget about every movie. Write this one down. Sing Street. I think it is still on Netflix, and I think it would really connect with you guys. It's about a kid growing up in London, one of the London suburbs, and his dad's a bit of a goof, a bit of a screw up, drinks too much and that, and he was sending his kid Connor to like a pay school, but now he doesn't have enough money to pay, so he has to send him to Catholic school. So this kid just kind of like dives into music, as an escape from having to go to this premier school, and connects with these other kids who are interested in starting a band. He meets a girl who's a little bit older, and he has a crush on her. It's a little bit of Almost Famous happening, and they form a band. He talks the girl to coming in and shooting a video for them, and they suck at first, but then they just start getting better and better and better. Now, the only kind of unrealistic part is that they kind of get a little too good. I mean, you could tell that there was like professional studio musicians that stepped in and did the music, but it's got a fantastic soundtrack. And it's just a really heartwarming movie. And if you like British films, check it out. And I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. That's where I saw it, and it really left an impression on me.
Cool.
All right, Rob.
I'll take that recommend.
Well, my number two film, also an Alan Parker film, probably one of his earliest, should come as no surprise it's on this list. That's Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah, well, Harrison was saying earlier that was his number one.
And I mean, the film itself is very dreary. And wow, there's just some really amazing imagery in this movie. With, of course, you've got the music of Pink Floyd, and it just works a treat. It is a wonderful.
I'm kind of surprised that Bob Geldof didn't act more.
Yeah. Well, he's actually, you know what? I don't think he's really much of an actor.
I thought he was pretty good in that movie.
No, don't get me wrong. He was good in the movie, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would, like, of all the people to choose for Pink, why Bob Geldof?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yep. So, yeah, that's my number two. Pink Floyd's The Wall.
All right, Eric.
Right on. Number two, been said already. Directed by John Landis, 1980. You better think about the Blues Brothers.
Oh, yes.
The Blues Brothers is, again, it's like a top 5 movie, any movie for me. Classic. Rest in peace, John Candy. 3 Orange Whips.
I'm going to confess something here because, again, Jen wanted that to be her number one movie. I never actually even saw it until after I met her. So,
well,
me.
Thank God you met her.
Yeah. In more ways than one. Okay.
Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss.
All right. My number two, it's a 1984 film with Morris Day, Apollonia, and Prince.
Wow.
Finally.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, okay.
I was surprised it went this long without getting picked.
Yeah, somebody had to do it.
But yeah, I mean, his guitar playing, the whole story, that soundtrack from beginning to end, even Darling Nikki, it's all just fabulous. And it pretty much made him a superstar.
Megastar.
Fantastic.
Megastar, yeah.
So I guess we're in the number one round. We kind of zoomed through this even faster than I thought we would. So let's take our time with our number one picks. Let's talk about why our number one picks are so personal to us.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk about my number one movie, which I've mentioned on this show previously. A movie called Still Crazy, starring Bill Nighy, Billy Connolly, Jimmy Nail. It's kind of like a British Spinal Tap, but it's more serious and it's darker. Strange Fruit is the name of the band, and they were huge. They were massive. But there was a tragedy earlier in their career when their lead singer died, and they bring in the replacement singer, who's less of an artist and more of a flamboyant frontman, and that's Bill Nighy's character. And the lead singer was brothers with the lead guitar player, and so his death and the bringing in of this new guy kind of fractures the band a bit. And of course, they break up tragically. The lead guitar player has a mental breakdown and disappears. But there's debts to be paid, and the keyboard player tries to reunite the band. There's interest in reuniting the band. So he goes over to Bill Nighy's house. Bill Nighy he's wearing these long capes. He's completely on cloud nine. They get the old drummer. Timothy Spall played the drummer. Billy Connolly was the roadie. He comes back. Max the Axe knows this movie. Everybody comes back, but the guitar player, because he had this mental breakdown and he's gone. They don't know where he is. They assume he's dead. So they get a new young kid, a new hot shot, and he becomes the new guitar player in Strange Fruit. And the tour is off to a disastrous start. Just a disastrous start. Everybody's at each other. There's conflict. There's strange women chasing around Timothy Spall, and he doesn't know why. And then there's a really heartwarming ending, which I won't spoil. But it is a heartwarming ending, and it's a really emotional movie for me personally. The first time I saw it would have been 2002, I believe, and I was in the middle of a relationship that was falling apart, and I bought this movie just sight unseen, and it kind of hit me. I had the worst throat infection at that time, and I always will associate that movie with feeling horribly sick. But it's one of the movies that makes me feel better just watching it. The soundtrack is fabulous. Bill Nighy and Jimmy Nail both sing lead. There were songs on there written by Mick Jones of Foreigner. And I can't praise Still Crazy enough. It is such a great movie. And I guess that's the end of my spiel. So Books, let's hear what you got for number one.
Okay, well, and you've just gone off on this wonderful storytelling adventure and basically laid out the movie for us. And my number one pick, I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh my God, I can't follow that. Because how do you even talk about this movie? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. This movie had 2 soundtracks, and it is Hardcore Logo.
Yeah, okay.
Is my number one. And so the one soundtrack is... they were called Swamp Thing, I think, or Swamp Baby. Yeah. And it was dude from Headstones. Oh my God.
Hugh Dillon.
Hugh Dillon, thank you. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know this guy. What's his name? Hugh Dillon, and they did some of the songs like Who the Hell Do You Think You Are and China White and all those songs.
Edmonton Block Heater.
The Edmonton Block Heater. And then there was some Ramones song on there, and there was some other stuff on there too.
New Tattoo, or is it Blue Tattoo?
Blue Tattoo on her shoulder, yeah.
And the one song that I'm just forgetting. Dun, 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 dun.
So it's all good. But then the other soundtrack was a bunch of actual bands doing a tribute album
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, to 5440 was on there doing a tribute album to Hardcore Logo, which was actually a fictitious band. So it was kind of fun. But the movie itself is like with Pipe Fitter and like, it's just, I can't even begin to describe. If you haven't seen Hardcore Logo, just go into it with knowing nothing about it and let it blow you away. If you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I'm going to say not for the weakest stomach as well.
No.
What I'm talking about there.
Yep. And it's just that good.
Yeah.
It's Bruce McDonald, right?
Yeah, Bruce McDonald.
Yeah, and
What's the name of that British guy that's in that movie? He plays like that old punk icon that they thought was dead. It's a British. Oh man.
Oh.
The movie AI as well. Steven Spielberg's AI.
Oh no, you got me on the spot. Okay, I know exactly who you mean.
I'm going to Google it. If you have anything more to say, keep going, or Kevin.
I have just one last thing. I have somewhere here, I think, the screenplay of Hardcore Logo. It's like a book.
Yeah.
That you could buy of that, and it was fascinating in its own right, just the way it was put together.
Julian Richings is the name of the actor, and he played Bucky Haight.
Bucky Haight, thank you.
And,
he wants to put the tribute for him. Yeah. Yeah,
and it's just, he was also in Detroit Rock City, and The Red Violin, which is a movie that I thought was going to make a list tonight.
No. But yeah, if you haven't seen Hardcore, anybody watching, if you haven't seen it, go out of your way. It's that good. Yeah.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Aaron, remember when we went to Toronto that one time, and I'm like, look, Aaron, Hardcore Logo 2 and 3. Did you?
Don't even start me. Please don't even start me. No.
Yeah. No, I remember you were like pissed. You're like, that's bullshit.
No, that is a hate hotter than the burning sun. Sorry, not going to happen.
Unnecessary.
The sequels are bad. Just the original is.
I haven't even seen them. I wouldn't go across the street to put them out if they were on fire. It's the first one.
Are they not about the same band or?
Not really.
I think it's like other. I don't even know. See, I haven't looked into it. I don't want to know. It's perfect in and of itself. Leave it alone.
I'll do the research while Kevin does his.
Okay. Well, my number one. It's just a fantastic movie. It's a perfect movie. It's been mentioned so many times before. It's A Mighty Wind. I will say a couple of things about it. If you have the DVD. Make sure to keep it. I'm not sure if it's on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is really expensive because it only came out on a limited run. But make sure to keep the DVD because the DVD has. So in that movie where they do their performance, it builds up to all that performance. That entire performance, like in the movie, they cut away to do things. That entire performance is on the DVD.
Yeah,
so you want to keep it just for that because trust me, they cut out some. They have to cut out to progress the story.
Yeah.
And the second thing, I remember when they were promoting, I was working at a television station and we had like all the talk shows, the evening talk shows, and they were going, the Mighty Wind team there, the, what's the name of the band again? There was
the New Main Street Singers, there was the Folksmen, and there was Mickey.
So the three guys were going, they were dressed up as the Folksmen and they were going around and, they did like Jay Leno, Dave Letterman and all that. But while they're performing, Harry Shearer is in a dress.
Yes.
And they don't explain it. And no one had seen the movie yet. So we were all wondering, like, why is he in a dress?
Oh.
And there's nothing online. Like, did Harry Shearer come out or something? Like, we had no idea what was happening.
That's funny.
Yeah, and they saved it for the gag for the movie. They did not, like, Letterman wouldn't ask him, or nobody would ask him, like, what's with the dress. So
I gotta interrupt you. Jane's just joined us, and he wants to know what we're doing.
I never lived down now.
Never heard that before.
No, not at all.
Kevin, I'm really sad because I think A Mighty Wind departed my house in the Purge. I'm getting more and more bummed as we go along here now.
Well, you do see it in the thrift stores still. So, visit them when COVID goes away. And if you find it, it won't cost you that much. And it's worth it just for that.
All right, Rob.
Be me. Okay, my number one has been mentioned, but still not going to take away from the film that actually made me infatuated with Kate Hudson.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
And this was also mentioned as well. This is an awesome supplement.
Yeah.
Water CD in the DVD. Absolutely fantastic movie. Again, I became absolutely infatuated with Kate Hudson in 2000. I was between girlfriends at that time, and it was just wow, just wow. And I didn't realize until later that she was the Kurt Russell and
Goldie Hawn.
And I'm like, okay, so she's got a bit of a Hollywood royalty in her. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought this was an amazing film. My favorite line in the entire film, and it always makes me laugh. Frances McDormand stands up in front of a bunch of people, says, "Rock stars have kidnapped my son."
Yeah, that's right. Frances McDormand was the overprotective mother.
Yeah, she's great.
And Zooey Deschanel was the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, it's a great coming of age story. It is a wonderful look at the rock at that kind of maybe late 60s, early 70s kind of approach. I really thought that all the performances were extremely well done.
Yep.
And I absolutely love the DVD. I watch this whenever I can. If I ever recharge my batteries about music of that era.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack is great. And apparently based on a true story. Was Cameron Crowe's kind of major gig.
I'm reading Roger Daltrey's autobiography right now, and he's he goes into a little bit about the groupies and that, and it's pretty much like exactly how they are in that movie, like how they take care of each other and all that. So
there it is.
But my favorite scene in that movie is when the plane is going down.
Yes,
towards the end of the movie, and they're all coming out with like their getting stuff off their chest. And Jason Lee tells Billy Crudup, "None of us like you." And one of the guys on the side just says, "Finally, the truth."
Well, I thought you were going to say something completely different.
The drummer comes out.
And then he rebels out. Yeah. And he has to live with his confession.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The only thing I can add to that, and I don't know whether this is actual truth or whether it's just my sister saying this, but apparently Kate Hudson is not quite so popular with fans of the Black Crowes.
Oh, really?
Because she was married to Chris for a while.
Yeah. And then they broke up.
And apparently that, I don't know, because this is another one of those situations where it was like with the AC/DC thing, right? I don't pay attention to the ins and outs and who's doing what and who said what. I don't care. I just play the song. But apparently, according to my sister, who is probably the biggest Black Crowes fan I know, her and her husband, that she is sort of she who shall not be mentioned amongst the Black Crowes fans.
Do you remember when Chris Robinson, I believe it was called New Earth Mud,
his
solo album, and it had a song on it called, I think it was called Dear Kate?
Yeah.
I threw up in my mouth a little.
Yeah. See, and again, I don't know. All deference to both of them. I have no idea.
Yeah, I really don't care anymore, but it's absolutely no question that she got blamed for a lot of the Black Crowes drama.
Oh, yeah, the drugs weren't the problem.
Big shout out to Rob, who always has show and tell.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I learned from the best. That's Mr. Books.
Okay. Well, thanks. I didn't do any of that tonight.
No, but I mean, it's just that the best concerts when you pulled out all those little trinkets like that.
You had memorabilia.
I have to step up. I have to.
You got to try to compete with B.B. King's autograph.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Well, Eric, it's time for you to give us your number one.
Well, I mean, I named this list. What?
Right. This is Tufnell Top 10.
So, I'm quite sure that Mike Kudis, also known as Maxi Axe, has not known what city that he was in. How he was on stage, but it's not my but it's not my job to be as confused as Max is. And I've tried to tell him 100 times, you don't do heavy metal in Dublin. I could go on all night with Spinal Tap stuff. It has literally shaped my sense of humor. I saw it in the theater in 1984 in grade 9. Walked out of the theater and pretty much have had a favorite movie ever since. That's it. That's the deal with Spinal Tap. It's everything.
Amen.
John, that leaves you with the responsibility to close up shop here. Can you go take us out on a bang?
No.
Oh, come on.
Because my number one is the same as Rob's.
Oh,
It's Almost Famous.
that's awesome.
Nice.
So,
There you go.
well, I'll just throw in some facts.
Okay, go on some
There are
facts.
5 songs on the Stillwater CD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
3 of them were written by Nancy Wilson, who was married to Cameron Crowe.
Yeah.
The other 2 were written by Peter Frampton.
Yeah.
Who was in the movie as, I think, a record exec or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, just the fact that Nancy Wilson was involved was kind of cool. And for me, it was the music. And just seeing, kind of getting a glimpse of to really what goes on when a band's on tour, and kind of just getting behind the scenes. It was just, I think that movie helped, I don't know, my passion for music grow even more, to learn those behind the scenes kind of stuff. Since, like you said, it was semi-autobiographical, whatever you want to call it. Because Cameron Crowe was like really young when he had to do this and it was Rolling Stone magazine. The kid in the movie's 15 years old. Gets thrown into that world with the groupies and Kate Hudson. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just an incredible experience to get a behind-the-scenes look that seemed pretty real of what probably really goes on there. So.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing there is that I don't know if it's the way the movie was made or the way it was written or both, but it seems very plausible. It doesn't make it seem like, oh, that wouldn't happen. It actually makes it feel real.
Yeah.
How great was Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie too?
Yeah.
As the and what's that?
He's always great.
Yeah, he was a DJ, and you remember he's going through like the records and like this is crap, and then he holds up that Guess Who, that live Guess Who record, and then after that, it was like every radio station in Canada started playing at what is it, Living in Saskatoon or
Running Back to Saskatoon.
Running Back to Saskatoon. Yeah. Every radio station started playing that. They didn't play for like 20 years before that, but that movie came out and kind of made that song popular again.
I want to show you guys a real quick Almost Famous graphic. This is Roger the Alien's second appearance on the show. Her name was Penny Lane, right?
Right.
Yes.
So Roger's groupie's character's name is Abbey Road, and his slogan is, "I'm Abbey Road, and when it rains, I need to be plowed." So here's Abbey Road for you.
Maybe snowed.
Here he is. There's Roger as Abbey Road, and you can definitely see the how he's Penny Lane.
Oh yeah.
But
his pecs changed.
That was from the episode My Morning Straitjacket, where Stan was trying desperately to hook up with My Morning Jacket, the band, and he was dressed exactly like the Cameron Crowe character in Almost Famous. He had the same haircut and the same little pouch, and he was masquerading as a singer, as a writer for the Rolling Stone.
Interesting side fact there about Running Back to Saskatoon, Kevin, just so you know, Pearl Jam also covered that song.
Oh, well.
On one of their live things.
Okay. Maybe that helped the song too. Maybe that's where
probably
inspired the shout out in the movie. Who knows?
Or came later.
As a
I guess we're Philistines, I guess.
And no, this didn't make any list. No. And I'm kind of surprised Kiss Meets the Phantom didn't make any list. I left it off mine on purpose.
Well, because it's sucked.
This guy right here.
No,
it's horrible.
It's awful.
It is pretty terrible.
It's horrible. It's a horrible movie.
It's not good.
I mean, it's entertaining.
Anybody else want to mention movies that they're surprised didn't make it?
I want to shout out some performances in like good music performances in some terrible movies. Have you guys ever seen the movie Duets?
Oh, you know what? I haven't seen that movie, but there is a duet between Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow. That song is awesome. Their voices sound so good together.
Yep. Well, that's from that movie. It's a Smokey Robinson song, and they do an excellent job. So
it's not Cruisin'. What is it called again?
Yeah, Cruisin'.
Is it Cruisin'?
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
cruising
okay.
together.
Yeah.
So yeah, Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow. Another movie about Chess Records called Cadillac Records. It's not a very good movie, but Beyonce's in it. She plays Etta James.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. She does a fantastic job. It's not a very good movie, but this is actually a good movie. It's just not a music movie, but there's a fantastic musical performance in it by John Candy. It's called Home Alone. And he plays
John Candy's character in that movie is inspired by Yosh Schmengi.
It's gotta be. Yeah. But he's fantastic in that movie, and he's actually playing that clarinet. So
I'm just going to interrupt you real quick. Brent Spiner singing Blue Skies in Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
And he had his own album. Yellow Eyes is back, right, Rob?
I've got it back there.
Oh. Maxi Axe, Runaways, and Star is Born.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Dirt.
Yeah.
Anybody's list.
Yeah, no one picked The Dirt. I'm surprised.
There's a bunch more. I've got a list of a few here. I'm surprised. Ray, Bird, The Pick of Destiny.
Yeah.
What's Love Got to Do with It? I Get On Up, the Chadwick Boseman, James Brown. And what about a movie called The Producers?
Corrects me. That was Nemesis.
Germany.
Tender Mercy with Robert Duvall.
I have a confession that, and I've let it go this whole conversation. I was under the impression that the biopics or the biopics were not allowed.
Oh, sorry. Didn't make that clear enough.
Right. So I didn't pick any of those because I thought, well, it's too close to a documentary, right? Where they're trying to recreate the story of Ray Charles, for example, or something like that, right? Like, so I didn't do those, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally okay. I mean,
I don't care. It's fine.
How come nobody picked Roy Orbison in The Fastest Guitar in the West?
Hey, I have that soundtrack. I could have done that one, but his performance is just awful.
Yeah. He had a guitar that had a gun that came out of out of the neck.
How come nobody picked 8 Mile?
I've never seen it.
That's a good movie. It's a good movie.
And I mean, the soundtrack was strong.
Or the End of the Way movie.
But, I mean, Eminem as an actor, that was a real stretch for him.
Yep.
Like trying to play a young white rapper from Detroit past 8 Mile and having rap battles, that was a real stretch for him as an actor.
Roy Orbison will put it. There you go. And Maxi Axe, Rob, HMS Pinafore in Insurrection by Brent Spiner and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, but those if we're talking performances here, yes. But then, of course, HMS Pinafore could show up in a numerous Trek or other places as well. So, I mean, with me, it became more, I didn't want to repeat myself, but also at the same time, I wanted to choose stuff that, again, not biopics, or sorry, not documentaries, but stuff that was more biopic-ish, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why Almost Famous is number one. I mean, given another day, I could have chosen another completely different 10.
Me too.
For sure.
But the stuff. What was it? Meat mentioned Ray, which actually I'm surprised on here. There's also the Frankie Lyman story. Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
I've seen that.
Not mentioned. There's another one. What is it? I'm Not Here.
Dylan.
Joaquin.
Yeah.
That is a music movie.
Yeah. With what's her name?
He had that song.
Kate Blanchett. Yeah.
Complicated.
Yeah, there's like
name of his
8 different people play Bob Dylan or something in different eras.
Something like that. Yeah.
Rock and Roll High School did not get picked.
No.
Metal did not get picked.
That's true. Yeah.
Heavy metal
did not get picked. And this guy, he really, really wanted Sgt. Pepper's to make the list, but no such luck tonight.
Yeah,
John,
I don't
think that's very good.
Sorry.
What?
John, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, my brother just mentioned 1980s Ray Sharkey movie, The Idolmaker.
Yeah.
And that was just outside my list. I had that one and Eddie and the Cruisers were two that I really liked.
Yeah.
And
my mom loves that movie, Eddie and the Cruisers.
Cool.
Anybody
School of Rock didn't get mentioned?
Yeah, School of Rock.
No.
Oh, there's another Jack Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I would like to say this. I'll throw a recommendation out there if no one's seen this movie, and it's another movie that could have got picked. There's a movie out there. It came out earlier this year or last year called Yesterday.
Oh, right.
And it's about a guy who wakes up and the Beatles don't exist, but they only exist to him.
We own that.
And he's a musician. So he starts playing these Beatles songs and people are like, that's amazing. Is that yours? And so he ends up like pretending that he wrote all these songs. It's quite a neat concept. It's a great movie.
The Piano was another one that never got mentioned.
Piano was on my list for a short while, and then I disqualified myself.
What's the one with Jamie Foxx?
Ray?
No. Maybe it wasn't Jamie Foxx. The guy, he lives on the street, but he's a savant when it comes to music. Oh, isn't that terrible?
It's
The Soloist or something, or
the Soloist, mate. Yeah,
that's a movie.
is that the one?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna look it up here. Hold on. I'm gonna see if that's the one. But that was another one I remember watching and going, "Hey, cool." Oh no, it was Samuel Jackson, wasn't it? No,
that's a different savant movie. That's the one where he thinks that maybe it is. He was thinking there was people up in a tower that were spying on everybody.
Yeah, Stuyvesant and all that.
I think that is Samuel Jackson.
The Soloist.
One that was in my mind, and now I've completely lost it. It was a little disqualify-y. I'm sure
it was Jamie Foxx.
I thought someone was going to be cheeky and pick "I Love You, Man" for Rush.
Rush, yeah. You could almost say Role Models is a Kiss movie, almost.
Yeah.
The Soloist was Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
And
Rocket Man.
Schizophrenia.
I didn't like Rocket Man.
I never saw it.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't like it.
Biopics. I'm not a big biopics fan.
I didn't like Rocket Man. No.
I kind of discovered that with this exercise is that the biopic. I'm not that much of a fan of biopics. I like them when I watch them, but like to pick them over the movies that I chose, I wouldn't do it. You know?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like the same story almost every time. You know?
Another one that I thought would make the list, even ironically, Xanadu.
I saw that in the theater with my grandfather.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I saw it. I went, somebody's got it. I'm surprised it didn't make the list. I'm sorry. Even one of my.
You know what? I meant to ask Eric, but I decided not to because I didn't want to complicate my life. But I was going to ask him like how musicals would fit onto these lists if musicals were okay. And then I was thinking about dropping Popeye the Sailor Man with Robin Williams.
Oh, boy.
Well, I think that musicals would have to be. It's
like Singing in the Rain, or
it's movies
Popeye
about
the Sailor
music.
Man was not a good movie, though. It was not a good movie. But it was a musical.
Sound of Music.
Somebody mentioned
Sound of Music's about musicians.
A great movie for this list. Moulin Rouge. I mentioned to Eric offline. I mentioned Moulin Rouge. Okay.
The Greatest Showman was really good.
We used to say Bolivian neutron bomb.
I'll tell you, a play that I saw that was fantastic was The Jersey Boys. Saw it here in Toronto, and then they made the movie. Clint Eastwood even directed it, and it wasn't very good, but the play was excellent. It's about what's that guy's name? I'm forgetting his name. Not Buddy Holly.
Hey, Jen. She's sleeping. It's too bad. Damn.
Whatever. It's a good movie.
Fubar 1 and 2 did not make anybody's lists.
What about Play Misty for me?
Sorry, what's that, Rob?
Play Misty for me.
Play Misty for me, since we're talking like Clint Eastwood. There's something as well.
Mo Better Blues.
Mo Better Blues, yeah.
Yeah, there's a very obscure film called To Tune in tomorrow.
Yes.
Frankie Valli.
Which was also very good. That was also part of my consideration because one of the Marsalises is involved in that somehow, and that's good for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to skip out. It looks like I'm about to go outside and fight crime. I'm Batman.
Batman.
You can't be Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm the worst Batman ever. Hey, I'm Batman.
Oh, there you go, Kevin. Yeah. Hey, before we sign off, can I take a complete left turn and ask you guys a musical question?
Yeah.
I bought a CD at work for $1, and I never heard of it, but it amused me. And so I want to know if anybody here knows what this is. It is, okay, so think of Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys, okay? Love it. Iconic album. Think of the album cover art and everything else. Okay, I have here a punk band called The Runs, and it's Wet Sounds. Does anybody know who these people are?
It's genius already. I don't know why you need to listen to it.
But even the back cover is like Pet Sounds, right?
Wow.
And the inside is like Pet Sounds, right? Like it's just. But I don't know anything about them, and I tried looking them up. I couldn't find anything about it.
That's amazing.
I found one track on YouTube. Nothing.
I tried listening to the CD.
I have a feeling that putting that CD on would ruin it.
Well, I said, well, I have to buy that for $1, but I don't know anything about these people, and it just amused me to no end that it's bathroom stalls with guitars, Wet Sounds, The Runs.
Eric,
right?
Can you ask me a question?
What?
Before you go, your band would. I'm trying to figure out why War of the Worlds would count in here somewhere, but you're the guy who came up with this concept. How would you make War of the Worlds count in here somewhere?
Radio?
Your band.
Well, is it about music?
No.
I mean, that's what I mean. So I would say it's disqualified, but
he's talking about the Jeff Wayne musical. That's
okay.
Well, that's a totally separate entity. That's not a movie.
Yeah. It's not really. Yeah, no, it's not a movie. There's not a movie of that music.
It's also not even based on the movie. It's based on the novel. Provingly.
I thought maybe it was a radio thing. Like, because when they did that over the radio, it actually caused a panic, right? Because people thought it was real.
Yeah. But no, I'm referring to the Jeff Wayne musical version of it, which is fucking amazing. And it's been on Rob's list and my list in the past.
Indeed. Yes, it has. Okay, boys. Hey, Richard Dreyfuss, it was great to be in your presence.
It's good to meet you, Uncle Meat.
We're not worthy.
Great lists from everybody, and it was fun, man. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, we'll see you another time, Pete, man.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Right on, dude.
Well, cool. I'm not ready to call her a night yet, but if anybody else has to go, by all means, you're more than welcome to.
I've got a very hungry cat. Be right back.
Rob, you're coming back?
Yeah, he says he's just going to feed his cat. He'll be back.
I don't want him to go without plugging his show tonight.
So just as a promise, at one point soon, I will play this Runs CD and just see how it is, and I'll write up a review of it. And
I bet you could play it now. I bet you there's no copyright on that.
Anybody want to tell Frankie Toms what he's missing out on here?
Oh, Pitch Perfect. And I'm not going to go there.
Anna Kendrick and Wilson, and they sing songs.
It's like a school.
It's like a high school movie.
I heard of it.
Not choir, but singing group thing. Yeah.
And we've got tremendous amount of support from the Snow family.
Oh yeah, I sent out a blast to them to be like, hey, if you got nothing to do.
Support your brother.
Well, Rob is gone. Why don't we, starting with John and going counterclockwise, I guess. Why don't you tell us what you got going on your site? Plug your shit.
Plug my shit. Well, we've already talked about the Kiss review series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The next one that should post on that will be Tuesday. 12-inch single and a 7-inch single for I Was Made for Loving You.
Ooh.
And then we'll go into Unmasked after that one. Monday's post is going to be something something I've done before, but with a band and a type of music I haven't done before.
Cool.
It's ranking the albums of Limp Bizkit.
Ew. I'm still looking forward to it, but ew.
Because I just, I've been wanting to like try different things and just venture out of my comfort zone. And so that's one of the things I picked to do with that. So yeah, just a lot of Kiss posts coming up, and more Matt Nathanson, My Sunday Songs for the next month. And that's kind of it. So cool.
All right, so going counterclockwise, Rob, what do you got going on for your Visions in the Sound broadcast tonight on CKWR?
Well, tonight is a special show. Jason Drury is going to be on it. It's the 80th anniversary of the Errol Flynn classic, The Seahawk. So I'm going to be playing music from several different recordings of the score. And we're going to talk about the kind of the history of the movie and when we first saw it and that sort of thing. It's going to be a blast. Also, I'm going to mention next month starts my Halloween horror month, and so there's going to be a bunch of different soundtracks from them. But the first one going into is going to be a show called "I Married a Monster from Outer Space," and I was actually able to track down the sound.
So did I. No.
John?
Yeah, and that's actually the first line of my posts mentions that you probably all think they're the worst.
Yeah.
But they're not.
My question with that is, did you spend actual money to buy those?
No, Apple streaming is a wonderful thing.
Okay, good.
Yes. I don't own one Limp Bizkit album.
Okay.
Kevin, what do you have going on that you want to promote?
Well, tomorrow on my blog, it's the 25th anniversary of the release of AC/DC's Ball Breaker. So I got a review of that. It's not a glowing review, to spoil that a little bit, but I tell my story about my experience that day grabbing the album. So I got that tomorrow. Then Sarah and I will be doing, what are we up to? Houses of the Holy for our Led Zeppelin.
I got to get caught up on that. I'm woefully behind.
I'm still waiting for the end.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got 3 more albums to go.
Okay.
Then, we'll be calling it. And then after that, okay, so then it's coming up on the 18th anniversary where I saw The Who, September 28th, 2002.
That's one of those.
You can make me
instant live.
You can enlarge this if you'd like, Mike. And
actually, that's a good thing. I will do that.
This. There you go. I'll just cover my face.
So that I have instant live.
Yeah. Okay, so make me small now.
Make it small.
So what they were doing in their 2002 tour was, after you saw the show, you could you can go on their website, take your tickets, type in your whatever code it was, and you could order the album live for the show. You could actually order any of them, but it came with a discount for the show that you went to.
Cool.
So it's something like Pearl Jam was doing in the 90s. Remember, you could go and you can buy every single album. So this was the show that I saw. So I'm debating on whether or not this is going to be Monday. If I'm going to do, maybe I might do listen to this and do a write-up and try to remember. Like, this was just after Johnny Entwistle died. He died in June.
So that's got Pino Palladino on bass.
Yeah, and it was actually 3 guys that they needed to replace Johnny Entwistle. I listened to a little bit, and Pete Townsend talks a little bit about it, because they needed one guy to play the bass. They needed another guy to hit the high notes that Johnny Entwistle could hit. And they needed a third guy to hit the low notes that Johnny Entwistle could, because he died while they were in mid-tour, and they just scrambled to find 3 people to replace him. So I might have just spoiled my entire write-up for Monday, but yeah.
John, I'm sure you know this, and I'm sure it drives you insane, but Kiss have an entire series of instant live albums, eh?
Yeah, I haven't even gone down that road.
Yeah, I know. I've got 3 from like Canadian cities, and that's.
I think it's cool, like, for the shows that you went to.
Yeah, but
it's kind
of whole collection is not feasible.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll give it a try.
It's just like the Pearl Jam ones where there were every show for 4 tours or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you want to promote? Books?
Oh, well, first of all, just because it was show and tell, I wanted to share my only instant live from the Pixie show that I saw.
Cool.
This was live in Saskatoon, 04/17/04, so April 17th. And it came out as a 2 CD. And they put the band members on the back. It was even numbered. It was 9 something of 1,000. And I even kept the ticket stub and whatever this little thing was. It was the disc live. Sorry, it's the disc live. So what you did, take home tonight's show on CD.
It big.
Make it big. I'll make it big.
Yeah. So yeah, you could take. They were making 1,000 of them, and so what you did was you paid I think it was $20 on your way into the show, and they gave you a thing that probably this, and then on your way out you picked up your CD and then took it home with you. So you had the show you just witnessed in your hands as you left. It was really cool. Yeah,
I have a few other instant lives. I have 2 Thin Lizzy. I have 3 Kiss. I have 1 Slash.
Oh, cool.
And I think 1 Marillion. So none of them are shows I've been to. Just, they sell the overstock later on online.
Yep. So for the KMA, I am on a labor of love. I am going through every single album in my house.
I've heard you do this before.
Alphabetically.
Oh, okay.
And so by artist. I just got to the B. And I'm like 100 and I don't know how many posts into it, but I just got into Bach. So I'm having a good
Brandenburg you put up today, right?
Yeah, I just put up Brandenburg's 1, 2, and 3, and then tomorrow will be 4, 5, and 6. And of course it has to be the Herbert von Karajan, because once you hear that you won't want to hear any others. But I think on the Deutsche Grammophon. But a couple of other ideas that I have, because I'm not writing much for those. I'm just sort of saying, hey, this is awesome, and putting it up there. And if it sends somebody in that direction, great. It's not really full reviews. I don't have that kind of time. I'm a school teacher now, because I'm homeschooling with the kids with the remote learning thing. So I don't have any time to do that, but I'll slap something up. But another idea, I have 2 other ideas ongoing. And one is an artist that I have said no to in the past and talked down a little bit about in the past and disliked in the past. And I have
Limp Bizkit?
No, no, but well done. I see what you did there. No, but I've started to come around.
On who?
And that is going to remain a mystery till I get there. But I will say that I have more than once in the past said, "Oh, no," and I've started to come around, and there's reasons for that. So I'll be sort of making a large post about that, and I'll put it up on a Sunday so you can get a coffee. And
I'm going to enjoy that. Enjoy it.
And it's nice too, because I'm an old dog, but I can learn new tricks, right? Like, that's pretty cool. And the only other thing I've got in the back of my mind, and I was talking with my daughter about this today. We went for a walk, and she wanted to know what I was thinking about. So I told her this is what's sort of in the back of my mind, and I'm trying to come up with, because see, I was always the jazz kid. I was listening to Louis Armstrong and big band stuff when other kids were, whatever, Metallica and whatever else. So but I still trying to come up with my formative years guitar heroes. And so I think I've got 5. So that'll be another post that is coming. And one of them, Deke will know right off the top of his head. If he's still watching, Deke, you know who I'm talking about. But so that's the KMA and
keepsmealive.wordpress.com.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Mike. I should change that, actually. Monsieur Leave was just, I put that on there because Deke called me Mr. Books on a site about music. And it stuck. And so
you can change it anytime, like Kevin did to promote his site, which I encourage you to do. We're all here to We're all boosters.
I think that's on when you log in, right? Like when you go to sign in, it shows you the name.
You can change it. Yeah. You can change it now. You can just go down
if you want
underneath your name. Like, you know how you can see yourself there down at the bottom? You're in the show.
Oh, hey.
Right under there. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you can do anything. You can.
So I'm not going to talk about anything I'm promoting. I just want to, I've got you guys here and I'm going to bring this up. Kind of came up, Rob and I were talking earlier this week about doing something for Halloween because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Halloween's canceled. Oh, thanks, Aaron. As far as I'm concerned, Halloween's canceled. You know, we talked about this early in the show, but it might be fun to kind of do an online costume party. I know Halloween's important to Rob. I invite you guys if you want to join me. I haven't decided when I'm doing it. It might be the Saturday of Halloween. It might be the Friday beforehand, but I think I'm going to do a costume party. And I think instead of doing lists that day, I think we should just tell favorite Halloween stories from us growing up. Like talking about the time I went trick-or-treating as Indiana Jones and everybody thought I was a cowboy. I'm just throwing the idea out there. I'm not really going to do a lot of Halloween stuff on my site because, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, Halloween's canceled this year. But I realize that it means something to some people, so I'm throwing it out there. It might be fun to do a costume party. The only caveat is that you have to show up in some kind of costume.
I went out as Mr. Stay Puft from Ghostbusters one year, and everybody thought I was the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I remember wearing a snowsuit under my costume more than once.
Yeah,
more than one year. Yeah. So I don't have a costume, but if you want to see how nasty I really am, I can.
I would accept a funky hat as a costume. Just anything that you're dressed up, not as yourself. You know.
I actually have a really cool hat you should see.
This is a good suggestion. Deke would have to dress up as T-Bone. Yeah, excellent suggestion. But you guys, you know, think about it. We got a month to go, and I know Rob and I will be discussing this in the future because you've got something planned for Halloween. I know, Rob.
There's the hat.
That counts as a costume. Here, we're gonna make it big, okay?
Make it big.
Oh,
make it big.
Oh,
I was not there for this, but this is from the Marc Messier induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Cool.
And 2007 induction celebration, and my second favorite hockey player.
Very cool.
After Wayne Gretzky, of course, and they played together. So there you go.
What hockey?
Out. No.
You've got the Hurricanes.
Oh yeah, I guess we do.
You do.
Yes.
I was an Atlanta Flames fan.
Had on the show ever?
I'm sorry?
Are you the first American I've ever had on the show?
It's possible.
I think so.
Distinction.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Max Yax, a friend dressed up as him one year and got a few phone numbers. You guys are more than welcome to keep hanging out with me. I certainly I'm still good to go for a little while longer.
Sure.
One thing I like to talk about, and you know, you can certainly pass if you don't want to do this again, but I like to just check in on how everybody's doing at the end of the week. You know, we're here at Friday. We've all survived the week. We all have different challenges that we're facing right now. Books, you mentioned that you're a teacher right now.
Yeah, I'm the son of a teacher, man.
Holland was on when we did an audio interview thing. That's true. So yeah, John's only the second. And Holland mentioned earlier that he had some questions for Richard Dreyfuss about Jaws. So Holland, go ahead.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start real quick, but it's been an interesting week for me personally because I've mentioned this before. The plant where I'm working is closing down, and every week we're losing people. And this week I think we lost at least 11. It was their last day. One of the guys, Joe, he's an older Italian man, and shook his hand for the last time yesterday. And the one that got me the most, there's a young guy that works at our plant. And his name, I won't say his name. But he has autism, and he's a freaking genius. This kid, but socially awkward, right? And everybody just kind of respects his space. He doesn't interact a lot with other people, but he's a wizard at his job. Like if you want a job done, he will do it to laser precision. he's one of our most valuable guys, and unfortunately yesterday was his last day. And like I said, I haven't had a lot of interaction with him, but he came into my office yesterday and shook my hand and said goodbye. And I have to say I got really emotional because, like I said, he's a little socially awkward and he has trouble with stuff like that. And the fact that he came in and shook my hand and said goodbye, I got a little choked up, and I'm gonna miss him. I wish him all the best. I'm sure he will be doing well wherever he ends up. But that was my sort of emotional choke up for this week. Not to mention all the bad news that we've been getting out of the province of Ontario. I don't know what it's like down in Carolina, but in Ontario, the numbers are climbing again, and it's kind of depressing. Yeah. But anyway, that's how my week has been. Anybody else want to chime in? Yeah.
Sure. I'm, like I said, a teacher now.
Yeah.
We opted to keep the kids home. We took the remote learning option. I mentioned on the podcast before that there's like 900 kids in the school my kids were supposed to return to. And we know families who haven't been distancing, and it's a nightmare. It's a logistical, just no. And so I actually stayed home, and we've had some technological challenges. We've even had noticed that they've had a larger response to the remote learning than they initially planned on. And so they've had to hire more teachers. And so your child may be getting a new teacher. And for anybody watching, my kids are 11 and 9. So grade 6 and grade 4 here in Ontario. I don't know other places, whether that's middle school or still primary school or what, but they're 11 and 9. So, but yeah, we've been dealing with some technological challenges. Like there's supposed to be an online space where they can go do these things, but my daughter's teacher, it's not working yet. And so she has to read the thing online, write everything out by hand, and then I have to take a picture of it with my cell phone and email it to the teacher. So it's a lot so that she can see it. So it's a lot of sort of problem solving and figuring things out and helping them understand the that's nice, Kevin. Helping them understand the problems and stuff. And I said to them more than once, I'm glad that they are at an age where I can still help with the homework, because like I can do grade 6 math, but if they got into high school, I don't know whether I'd still be able to do it or not. I wasn't the best student, but so yeah, we're still just carrying on. We're doing the thing. And being the son of a teacher does not qualify me to be a teacher.
We have a question for Richard Dreyfuss. Chris is wondering where you're from.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, or just outside of Atlanta, but I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, it's a town called Waxhaw. It's named after an Indian tribe.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
A mighty Indian tribe, to quote Europe.
Yeah, I don't quote Europe.
You guys want to chime in with anything? Vent your soul a little bit.
The COVID down here, it's kind of steady. It's not really going up, but it's not really dropping very fast. The kids are in school, but they only went 1 day a week, and then the rest was virtual.
Yeah.
Starting next week, because cases have been pretty good, they're going to go to 2 days a week. And then the rest virtual. So they'll go like Wednesday, Thursday. And then I think come January, if all things are good, they're going to go back full time.
Okay.
But we'll just have to see. But yeah, it's been a challenge. I mean, my kids are older, so they're a little more self-sufficient. So I don't really, they come down to help with some things, but I don't really, I couldn't help with some of them because it is high school, like senior stuff. And I didn't do well past algebra. So anything, and I think she was taking a pre-cal class, and there's no way I'm helping with that. So
we have a question from your nephew. When's the next family get together? John will know who to watch this if they call him Rich. John will know who watched this if they call him Richard Dreyfuss.
We haven't had a family get together in a while because most of my family's in Atlanta.
Okay.
And Atlanta hasn't been the most, I don't know, safe area. They're not the most, they're not known for wearing the mask and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we haven't decided. We haven't gone down, and so I think Thanksgiving was the last time we were down there. So hopefully we'll make it for this Thanksgiving, but we'll see. Depends how brave we are.
I know, personally speaking, we've basically canceled Thanksgiving as a gathering. We're going to try to do something online, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, for John, our Thanksgiving's like 2 months before yours, so it's coming up. Yeah, it's like right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, ours is late November.
Yeah. So. I'll be curious and a little bit horrified whatever happens for Black Friday down there, because I know we don't have Black Friday. Well, we do have Black Friday here now, but we didn't have Black Friday here for many years. But it's a much bigger thing where you are, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've all seen the video footage of Walmart's getting trampled.
Oh, so yeah, I don't do that.
What might happen on Black Friday this year?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it. I mean, they're going to do it because that's just the way we are.
Yeah.
But it's a question of how. I don't know if it'll be as crazy. They're going to have to organize it better, I'm sure. Yeah. But I know a lot of companies that used to open on Thanksgiving are not going to open Thanksgiving. So Target and a bunch of those big stores are decided to close for Thanksgiving. So we'll see. But I just hope they have Black Friday Record Store Day. That's what I'm looking forward to.
There's another. When is the next one? I thought it was tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, so I got to get up in a few hours.
I will not be attending. I'm too. I am, as I've explained in the past. I'm kind of doing a little bit more of an extreme self-isolation than the others.
Yeah.
Go to work every day, but I haven't done a lot of shopping. And I agree with Matt. Hopefully, Black Friday deals will be mostly online. I think that's what. If I do any Black Friday shopping, that's what I'll be doing.
That's what I do. All my Christmas shopping is online. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of my Christmas shopping, I'll just have the parcels directly delivered to my family members. Honestly, I don't know what we're gonna do yet. There's a long way to go. We don't know.
We tend to buy Christmas presents all year, just store them.
Yeah,
and then when you see something, they'd like that, and then just set it aside, and then you get to Christmas and you don't have to buy anything because it's already done.
See ya, Harrison.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
John, if you want to bail, by all means. I really appreciate you guys hanging out as long as you have and chatting. I
fun.
Short post-show chat as well.
Yeah,
I know, Rob, you got a show to prepare for at some point tonight. So
I knew I was going to be on here tonight, so I just pre-prepared. So everything's already done. All I have to do is just grab my show bag and I'm out of here at 11. So I'm good to stick around and cool. Talk music, talk soundtracks, talk, whatever you guys, whatever, wherever the conversation goes.
Cool. I have two questions. Yeah. I have two questions. One is for you, Mike.
Yeah.
You say your shop's shutting down.
Yeah.
Is there a date?
We are shut down.
Oh, okay. So the next, I guess, attached question is, what are you going to do?
Well, I do not have. I am one of the select few who do not have an end date, which presumably means I still have a job. We've moved all of our operations down to Mississippi, and I am still coordinating my side of the sales department from up here. I don't know if this is a sustainable situation or not. We still have an office space up in Canada where I go every day, but I don't want to say too much, but I've basically decided that we just take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time.
Yeah, good.
I have spent a lot of time worrying about the future and woken up in a sweat of nightmares, imagining myself in a job interview, which I haven't had a job interview in 14 years.
You'd nail it.
I don't even know how to apply for a job anymore, Aaron. I don't even know how to look for a job anymore. So it's terrifying if I spend too much time thinking about it.
Yeah. So, okay. I didn't mean to bring that up. I was just curious because you mentioned that. And then I wondered if there was a strategy or what. My second question is for John, just sort of generally the feel where you are. I mean, with the virus and the politics and everything else, how are you doing? How are you coping there?
I try not to watch the politics.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know, it's sickening sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, just what's going on with all the protests, and which I'm all for the protest.
Yeah.
But they're getting really violent.
Yeah.
It's I'm glad I don't live near the city. And
Dale Sherman, of course.
Yeah.
He's in Louisville, and I understand he's in Louisville right now.
Yeah, that's a bad spot.
Always praying for the Sherman family. They're great people, by the way. Dale Sherman, he's an author, and he's written some of my favorite Kiss reference books. He's written an Alice Cooper reference book, Quentin Tarantino, Mel Brooks. I could go on and on and on and on. He's a fantastic guy in real life. So I wish his family nothing but the best.
Yeah, because we kind of watch that news from afar, and I worry for you. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, generally all is good. Most people are respectful. Mm-hmm. It's those bad seeds that the ones that take it too far on both sides that are really making it with a black eye and stuff. So I try to limit my exposure to the president speaking, to the candidate speaking. I'm going to watch the debate because I need to.
You need to be informed.
I need to be informed, but I try to limit and pick what I'm going to watch.
When are the debates start, Richard?
Huh?
When did the debates start, Richard?
It's soon.
There should be one coming up.
The first one's the 29th, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say it's soon, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, we won't go into that too much.
No. Yeah. I worry because we have friends who left here. They lived in Burlington, which is sort of west of Toronto, and they moved down to Norwalk, Connecticut.
Okay.
And they're not there now, but they're still in that area. He works for Blue Sky, the animation, like Ice Age and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he does something with that. He's an animator kind of guy. He's really good. He's an artist, and they moved down there like 10 years ago, and they're still down there. They've had 3 girls. They live down there, and that's home for them now. And I worry because they're down there in interesting times, as the Buddhists would say. May you live in interesting times, and that's So,
come November, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My only
either way
regarding this is if you thought hanging chads were a thing, get ready for 2020.
Oh, they're already prepping you for it.
Yeah.
So,
Aaron, you mentioned Norwalk. All of a sudden, that clicked in my mind. Was that a name of a previous virus that we had?
It was. It was the Norwalk virus. Yes, it was. Yeah, that's the name of the city. The name of the town. We visited them there. Once we went down and we stayed with them in Connecticut, and then they put us on the train in the morning because they had to go to work, and we get on the train in the morning in like 40 minutes we could be in Grand Central Station in New York City. So we would stay with them and avoid all the hotel costs and everything else of New York City, and then travel into the city, spend the day, do what we wanted to do, and then come back out at night. So that was really awesome.
Yeah, New York's wonderful.
Oh, it was. It was great.
Great record stores.
I don't think I set foot in one.
I make sure now. Every time we go somewhere, I set aside time to go to hit the record stores in that town.
Well,
Paris was just amazing.
Oh, well, there's just so much else to do. Like, you're in New York City. Like, we were in the Village. We went to Ground Zero. We were in Central Park. We went all these places. We went up to Rockefeller Center, 30 Rock. Which, if you're going, don't wait in the massive lines to go up the top of the Empire State Building. You can walk into Rockefeller Center and go up, and it's a better view. But anyway, there was so much else to do that it didn't happen.
My wife got a migraine, which sadly she gets them. So she wasn't feeling great. So it was like me with the girls, and I'm like, let's go down to NYU area and Washington Square. There's 3 record stores right around there. We can hit some sites.
Yeah.
There was a great pizza place down there.
Of course. Yeah.
So I always try to set aside. Even if we go down to St. Augustine, Florida, when we did that a couple months ago, they were getting ready or something. I jumped in the car and went to a record store. So
yeah, no, I try to, but yeah, I think maybe one of the biggest highlights was seeing the lions in front of the New York Public Library from Ghostbusters. Like actually being there for that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's just we watch it, and I just checking in with you. That's all.
Yeah. Now, Rob, do you know this one? To Live and Die in LA?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I was just playing it yesterday, and I just thought about it.
Wang Chung, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Wang Chung, they do all of it. It's half of its lyric songs, and the other half, side B, is all instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all synthesizers, a little industrial sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this was mid-'80s, I guess.
Wow.
Anyway. It's not a rock movie, so I didn't pick it for my music movies. But it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will agree with that. Yes, for sure.
Cool.
Anybody else want to pitch in anything? I noticed we've been on for 2 hours and 41 minutes, so we are stretching the patience of the viewing audience out there.
Well, now it's just for us.
Yeah.
If anybody's still with us. Good job.
You don't have to broadcast it. You could end the broadcast and you can still stay on and talk.
Yeah,
if you want.
Of course, at some point I've got to eat. I had a bite to eat beforehand, but I could still use a bite. I think Frankie Toms is heading out, but I think if I know Frankie Toms, he'll be listening to Visions and Sound tonight.
Excellent.
It's kind of funny, ever since lockdown began. Rob's been doing live streams of Visions and Sound on Facebook for ages now, but ever since lockdown began and everybody's home on Friday nights, it just seems a lot of my buddies from school and from Sausage Fest are watching Rob on Visions and Sound, which is great. I'm so happy about that. It's a real shame though that they missed what I feel was the best episode that we ever did together, which was the Black Hole.
Yes.
I really feel that we knocked that one out of the park. We had Jason Drury with us for that one, and I'd spent like 2 days researching for that one. I hope we get to do it again soon. Get to actually be in the studio together again soon. I miss going down to CKWR and doing the show with you, even though it wreaks havoc on my sleep cycle.
It's very strange. It's very strange times right now, especially at the radio station. Because now we're starting to let people come back into the station to do
right.
But we're still not allowing guests. We're still not allowing, anybody who's not a programmer, essentially, into the studio. So, and of course, you got to clean everything. You got to wipe everything down. I'm sure it's all taken care of that way. But yeah, for me, it's. Not really much has changed because I was considered essential.
Yeah.
So I basically have nothing much has changed for me, although I do still do the Wednesday night show.
Yeah.
I do still do the live stream. I've been doing movies on the weekend, public domain movies on the weekend. And so that's kind of fun. For me, though, like I said, there really hasn't been a lot of change in my life. The first couple of weeks of the lockdown, yes.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of unsure. So I would work from home 3 days a week, and then I'd go in on the days when I actually had to put my hands on things and record things and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a very strange time to be in entertainment and media right now. I just posted something today that a friend of mine says that there are 12 million actors, crew, and just all these people out of work because of this. And it's something that it's been reposted a couple of times by a couple of my actor / tech crew friends. And so, I mean, I just hope this all, what originally thought, 2 weeks. Yeah, no problem. We'll be back to
15 days.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be back to normal. Has turned into friends of mine who can't pay their rent right now because of this, and are having a real difficulty getting through. And like I said, I just hope this comes to a quick ending, but at the same time, I want it to be a common sense ending. That we're not just going to drop the barriers and everybody goes back and the numbers rise again.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. No, we have to take it as we have been doing. And Doug Ford mentioned today that what was it? Bars, strip clubs, all this stuff have to close by 12.
Yeah, that's going to have a huge impact on the numbers. Closing at midnight instead of 2 a.m. That's going to make all the difference in the world, right?
See, if there's one mistake that we've been making since day one is this whole another 2 weeks, another month, I guess we'll wait until the end of the school year, we'll start up again. Like, we should have just from day one. Look, this is going to be the long haul. We got to make there's going to be a bunch of people out of work. We got to figure out what we're going to do with that.
Yeah.
Kids can't go back to school. We got to figure out what we're going to do with that.
Yeah.
Airlines are going to be shut down. We got to figure out what we're going to do with that. And that's what we should have been doing since day one, instead of and we're still doing it. We're still we're going to close Thanksgiving, so we'll be back for Christmas. Do you really think we're going to be back for Christmas? They're not going to have even if there is a vaccine that's ready, it's not going to be everywhere all at once. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
So that's the real responsible thing that they should be doing right now, is just telling everyone, batten down the hatches. This is going to take a long time, and make plans for it.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm just thinking this through, and you're absolutely right, because that's what we've done here, as much as we can. But part of the reason that didn't happen, I would think, is because there were too many unknowns.
Yeah.
They didn't know. There was talk about it. How is this even transmitted? How are
we're still
what are the cases, right? Like, they still don't know, right? So they couldn't plan for the long haul when they didn't know what they were facing.
I get it, but I think by June, August. Now, I mean, right now they should be coming out and telling us this. Look, we thought that it would only take us a couple of weeks. We thought okay, we don't need to wear masks. We got to keep it for the essentials. There's a lot of stuff that I understand. It's science. We learn new information and that. But I mean, at this point, it's just been the same thing over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And we should have learned from that mistake from March, and now be going but we're still doing the same thing from March. We're still trying to. I think it's just a mistake to be doing it at this point. Even now, today they told Sarah, because she's been working from home. And they just told her today that, we're officially going to be not shut down, but everyone's working from home for fall and all of winter. And I was like, well, what about spring? Well, we don't know yet. I'm like, well, I mean, that's make the plans now, why are we waiting?
I think hope for the best, but plan for the worst, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if the vaccine does come out and we made all these plans, well, guess what? We don't have to do it now.
Right.
And, and we can get back to it. What's there's that saying, what is it? Worry, don't panic, but worry, or something like that. I can't. Should have quit while I was ahead.
I was trying to think of that. I know an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah.
I know the expression, not my circus, not my monkeys, but I don't know the one about panic. I do know what Douglas Adams would have to say about.
Yeah, don't panic
about that.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Matt Jackson said Christmas will be canceled. I think Christmas will be scaled down. I'm certainly not going to any malls to do. I don't do that anyway. Really,
no.
I'm not a Christmas shopper. I'm an Amazon shopper.
Let me tell you, my Christmas shopping is one trip to Shoppers Drug Mart. You go down the aisle where they have all the gift cards and just pick them off. Boom, boom, boom. You're done in 15 minutes. That includes the drive to Shoppers and the drive back home.
Yeah. Nice.
I could do that faster. I can walk to a Shoppers Drug Mart in the next block over.
I could walk too, but I'm lazy.
Oh.
I don't know what Christmas is going to look like, but our family is already wondering whether we'll be getting together or not, because my sister is being extremely isolated. She is a one-person bubble, basically.
Yeah.
My sister too.
I talked about what my mom's doing and everything else, but
see, all our family is up in Sudbury, so if we go up to Sudbury, we're going from a hot spot to, a cold spot, I guess, or is less than hot spot. So I don't want to bring anything up there,
Yep.
And Sarah's parents are old, man, and her stepdad is recovering from cancer surgery. So I don't want to bring any of that stuff to them. So
yeah.
Well,
it's tough.
We are hitting almost the 3-hour mark, and I think at this point I need to stop neglecting my beautiful wife. Maybe spend a little bit of time with her.
Yeah, I probably should do the same.
Probably.
Not with your wife, but with mine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We just don't know. But,
nice save there. That's good. Yeah. Because I was going to say the same thing, and I'm glad you said that before. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out all night.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me again.
What are we doing next week?
Yeah.
What's that, Kevin?
What are we doing next week? Come on.
We'll have to just, you know what? It takes me a couple of days to kind of decompress.
I hear you. Yeah.
And then we start churning out ideas for the next week.
Yeah.
We do have some ideas for some special guests in coming weeks. We talked about one of them that we got lined up. The Deke is lined up. And of course, young Tyler, who's commented many times in the past, he wants to do a show with you guys. I think, John, you've agreed to appear, but we just want to, it's going to be called The Generation Gap. And it's going to be talking about Tyler's perspective on music and concerts and buying albums and listening to albums versus the older generation. So you guys are more than welcome to join us when Tyler is going to be doing that show with me. We got lots of list ideas that are still percolating. Rob, we were talking about doing a John Williams show with Eric Woods. I'd like to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Kevin and I could do 2 more AC/DC list shows.
Oh yeah, easily.
I have another idea too, but it's still
maybe all of your best movies that you've ever made.
Who's that?
Richard.
Oh,
all the best movies that he's ever made.
All my movies?
Yeah.
I forgot all about them.
And I don't know where Holland went. He said he had some Jaws questions for you, but he took off. So we got no more questions. It's been interesting, says my mom. Great show, says Mike. And Matt, great show and after show. Thanks for the entertainment. We were more than welcome, everybody. So this is LeBrain. This is Mr. Books. This is Kevin. This is Rob. This is Richard Dreyfuss.
And John, may I say, a real honor to finally meet you virtually.
Yeah. Oh, same here.
Yes.
It was great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, guys. And I'll be talking to you all real soon.
All right.
Great
See you
time,
later.
guys.
Okay, now here I do my thing where I say, how do I get out of here?
Like this.